Hi, Fiona. I hope you don't mind me writing you again. I really appreciate having someone that I can open up to, you know? A mother figure, since I no longer have one and all that. Even though I've never actually met you. But I feel like I have, because of all the things Evie has told me about you, and because she's so wonderful, I figure you must be as well, right? Anyone who teaches their daughter to pick lunaberries must be a fantastic mother, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'll just stuff this letter here amongst the others that Evie is writing you when she's not looking. You know what's odd? She hasn't even mentioned the last one I wrote to you yet. I'm guessing she must not go back and read through old letters very often. That's fantastic now that I think about it. I might just have to find a way to stuff some more things in there, just for fun. So, how are things in the village? What's the weather like? Nieces and nephews all minding their manners? Your health? Town politics? Good harvest this year? I died yesterday. Have you ever died before? I'm guessing probably not. I have to tell you, Fifi, it's a very surreal experience. One moment, you're laying waste to a crew of pirate slavers, and the next you're floating upside down in a misty darkness, talking to your favorite halfling bard folk hero about the political machinations of a cadre of demigods. Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. We were all flying around through the broken expanse with Kes and Hug. By the way, has Evie mentioned our newest companions to you yet? I have a feeling that you, Fiona, would really love the ogre in particular. I'm not sure why. Something about him. Anyway, all of a sudden, we heard this mournful animal cry off in the mist somewhere. Vicky went to see what it was, and with Jaja's new owl pet's help, we discovered there was another ship who had recently hunted and killed a large animal apparently called a sky whale. The most fascinating creature. Sort of like a big fish or shark, but so massive. How does it fly through the air like it does? No clue. They were harvesting it for meat, and its calf, whom the crew was also chasing, was mourning its mother's death. Poor thing. We made our presence known and started chatting with the ship's captain named Filbert. Apparently, they were part of what's known out here as the Gearcracker clan. I guess the leader of the clan is named Ganelin, and they have a map of the Broken Expanse that we thought would come in handy for us as we're trying to complete this quest that the trio has Evie on. They were a bit nervous to learn that we were deputized by the Arcanum, seeing as how no one is supposed to actually be out here in the Expanse without their consent. But we let them know that our affiliation was a loose one and that we might be willing to earn their favor for a copy of that map. They asked for help harvesting the whale, and we agreed, with the exception of Evie, naturally. So fierce, that daughter of yours, but so tender-hearted at the same time. Something I love about her. Anyway, to make a long story short, Vicky apparently snuck down into the hold while no one was looking and discovered that these gearcrackers had a bunch of kobolds on board, serving as slaves. He tried to help them escape, and, well, a fight broke out as a result. We're not particularly fond of slavery. Wouldn't exactly be heroes if we were, right? Things were going swimmingly, to be honest. We were taking our lumps, but giving out better than we were receiving, when all of a sudden, I heard a loud explosion, and then I was dead. Apparently, Filbert the Terrible had a gun that blew me to smithereens. How cheeky. So there I was, back with the Choir of the Crags, only this time permanently. It's all a bit fuzzy, looking back on it, like fragments of a dream that's fading quickly upon waking. I'll try to write down what I can remember or intuit before it's all gone. I know I was talking to Malak the Melodious, the halfling bard who was the previous holder of the Will of the Crags, or Craggy as I've affectionately come to call them, who essentially let me know, if I'm remembering correctly, that, well, the disparate members of the choir don't exactly see eye to eye on everything. As someone that's been truly struggling with this whole balance for the sake of balance thing over the last few weeks and months, and who's been trying to resist the pull of the darkness, I can't tell you what a relief that was to discover. It looks like a small portion of the choir had broken away from the majority to form a sort of splinter faction. I suppose that would explain why Aventhi, remember that bastard? Ooh, just writing his name makes my blood boil. Anyway, he seemed to have an incomplete version of the Will of the Crags himself when we had our altercation a few weeks back, and why he seemed so intent on recovering my Craggy. It would appear that he has been persuading or perhaps manipulating the majority of the choir toward his own nefarious purposes, all in the name of bringing balance to the world. What a bunch of crap. And most of the choir has gone along with it. Fortunately for me, and, well, the world, I suppose, not all the members of the choir were convinced of his gobbledygook, broke off, and found a new champion. Me. I hate to say it, but I'm not sure that they chose particularly wisely. Their hope, I think, was that I might be able to find and defeat Eventhi, and, with him out of the picture, reunite the choir as a force for good in this world. I'm flattered. I failed. But Malik and the others still seemed convinced that they'd made the right choice, or at least they were convinced that at this point they had no other choice left. So they gave themselves up, sacrificing their own power and essence to give my spirit a new host, sending me back into the world with one last chance to succeed. I'm not exactly sure what that means for them. Oblivion? I hope not. Rest in the afterlife? I pray it may be so. But who knows? Perhaps when we kill that bastard Eventhi and cleanse the choir, I can find a way to bring them back? Regardless, whatever connection to the choir I may have had has vanished with their sacrifice. I feel a little empty and a little lost. But, Fiona, I think something of their power might have been infused within me somehow when they pushed me back into the world. Or perhaps I'm just discovering abilities within myself that have been there all along, as a result of my heritage that I've at times embraced and at others shunned. There's so much I don't understand, but I hope to uncover it all one day. Anyway, the rest of the Wayward Watch managed to defeat the Gearcrackers without me, naturally. They freed the kobolds and the baby whale, much to Evie's relief, and we recovered the map we needed to find this temple we're after. I can't tell you how good it was to see my friends again, after thinking that they were lost to me forever. But even more than that, I can't tell you how intently I burn with a white-hot passion to bring justice to Eventhi. For Noserai, Terelia, and Brevel, for Benevito, Agrentha, and Malik, for all who have suffered as a result of his lust for power, I will have vengeance. With love, Sere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to session 29 of Tales of Aneria. I'm sorry, I'm so excited for tonight. It's going to be a really good episode.
I was excited, but now I'm scared.
After last week.
Yeah, after last week.
You know,
What
only
more
up
could
for
I do
here.
to you?
Who's gonna
I
die
don't know
this
what
time?
happened last week.
I've got to have plot immunity for at least
Who's
one
gonna die?
episode, right?
Well, yeah, right. No
Hey,
new character
guys,
coming in.
Let's make a pact. We all stay alive till we can get paid out, and then
Yeah.
someone else can.
I thought you were going to say we all at least die once.
Or we die. If one of us dies, we all die.
A
Okay.
murder
Suicide pact.
I'm cool with that. I'll bring the Kool-Aid.
Perfect, I love it. Let's actually get a kind of a gauge on where everybody is standing hit point wise, because I'm curious to see who is closest
Well,
to death at this
Why do you want to know?
That's a good question.
You are.
Do I have
completely
one
full.
hit point
Nope.
or 47 hit points?
You're completely full.
Any exhaustion?
I feel
no,
great.
No exhaustion. Correct.
My skin
it's
is like
absolutely full.
shiny and new.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what do you have?
15.
15?
38.
38.
I'm good.
Yeah, Victor, doing okay?
I'm over half.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just saw that
Because I got
my
hit with the
children said.
gun as well. The only
Yeah.
reason I didn't get down to 3 left
Because you had resistance.
was because of the resistance to force damage.
That amulet. That virtual shielding. But we'll go ahead and just pick up directly, like, after this combat. You guys have been talking with Seredan a little bit about their experience, just trying to figure out, like, what the heck happened, that sort of thing. And Cascas comes up and says, okay, so, kobolds are native to here, they say, taken as slaves by those gentlemen. And he points over to the other ship that's
I don't know if
kind of off
gentleman
kilter
is the
this one.
word I would use, but
Oh, I mean,
Sons of bitches.
I never swear. New cast trait. He doesn't swear.
Neither do I.
He doesn't curse.
He only
No.
swears.
Except for whale killers and slaveholders.
Yeah. He only swears in common.
They're the worst.
They are willing to be on the boat until we get them to their home. If you are amenable to that, yes.
Is the ship operable? The other ship?
No, the captain destroyed, or not the captain, but the guy with the big like boom gun destroyed
He turned it
the
on.
boomstick.
Right.
Yeah, he turned
Is
on the
there-
controls and he destroyed the controls.
Is there a way I could help them rig up like a sail of some sort? Because it's still floating. Otherwise, it would have.
Yeah, you
Right.
can go see like what's on their ship, what's on yours. Go ahead and
Yeah.
give me an investigate
Like
check.
I want to see if I can find some tarps and like see if I can set up some sails. Like even like the kind that. Have you ever seen the kind where they release them from the boat and they expand in the air on a rope and get pulled along? Something like that. And then maybe they.
I don't know if anybody in Aneria has seen that, but
Well.
I certainly have.
I could create it.
And then
Well, okay, so Sarah, I think when we ended it, she like woke up naked as the day she was born. Had all of my equipment except for Craggy. of
Wait,
course.
I thought dwarves come out in full plate armor when they're born.
But-
So half
elf.
plate.
Yeah, because I'm a half guy.
Ouch.
But you said like
It doesn't
all of,
harden. It takes a while to harden.
all of
they pop out of holes in the ground anyway. It's fine.
That's how it works.
It's like Brandon Sanders.
all of my equipment
Okay.
was still there, right? Except
Yes,
except Craggy.
Bolt had it.
Yeah,
but,
I picked up everything that I could.
but they probably gave it back.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I would have given it back.
So yeah, I think at this point Sarah might be like, right. So, the slave holder whale killer people. Yes, those. They're taken care of. I seem to be short a glaive. Do you think we could maybe search the ship for weapons or something?
No, you don't need a weapon.
I do.
I thought you were like
Yes, Mr. Six
Vanguard
Knives.
and like, all right, point taken. I'll help you find.
No.
The last
If
time
there's
I got a
only
weapon,
6 knives,
it ended horribly
Well, why don't
for
you?
you and the people of Bravell. So maybe you shouldn't have a weapon.
Well, let's be clear here. I had nothing to do with what happened at Bravell. In fact, I'm determined to kill the man responsible for it because I know it's a Venthi. And those people deserve to be avenged. As do all those who have suffered at the hand of the choir since Aventhi took charge. He's been corrupting them. I know he has.
I thought it was Nosarai that.
Nosarai was the holder of the Will of the Crags at the time, yes. But the choir has been corrupted. What I have been using has really just been a fragment of the choir. Some sort of splinter group or rebellion. I don't know what to call it. The details are fuzzy. But I remember that that much at least. And I believe the only reason I was able to come back was because they sacrificed themselves to give me another try. And,
They must see great promise in you.
well, I'm honored
Or
if,
you are a
if
last
feeling
ditch
a little
effort.
unworthy. I
Wouldn't
think
you?
it might be a little more the latter.
I can relate.
But, regardless,
Savior complex, savior complex.
Yes.
but
We're the last
regardless,
hope for multiple things. So
right.
we're kind of the same, you and I, just very different. I mean, horn and just beautiful. So
We're kind of the same, but totally different.
I'm much more handsome.
he was like a king for like a
More-
day.
I look gorgeous. You're just.
And every time you do this, there's a sudden like gust of wind, and your hair is like majestically blown right behind you. Never like forward, never sideways, like perfect.
It's
No matter
like
what we're doing.
Princess Celestia.
Sarah casts prestidigitation and like splatters mud like all over Ezra's
Sorry. This is your moment. That's right.
tunic. And she's like, wasn't able to do that before.
I don't know if I like new Sarah. She's a lot grumpier.
Sarah 2.0.
The point is,
New Sarah,
I-
do this.
by them sacrificing themselves, it sort of severed whatever connection I had, failing connection though it was, with the choir. And I've lost whatever power they had given me, but apparently have been infused with something else. I'm not quite sure what to make of it yet.
We should
Well.
do tests.
As
Can
a
you fly?
fellow
Should we test
fellow
flying
construct, sometimes you just find out you can do things you didn't know you could do.
Can you poop? Or are you no longer
Can
a
you
person?
eat and poop?
Well,
These are
I'm willing to
science.
try.
Give me a couple hours, we'll
don't have
find
any
out.
urges currently. What I need is a weapon.
All right.
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt everyone. This is important. Bolt,
Hmm.
you made that shield from your old still. Have you ever made a weapon before?
I've dabbled in some blacksmithing when I helped create the dagger.
We have this other piece of ald. Can think of nothing better
Wasn't the
to defeat Eventhi with.
Ald? Didn't it become a weapon in a moment of need? I think this is a moment of need. You
Eve
need a
will
weapon.
get out the ald and say, try it. See if
Smell
it
it.
works.
See if it smells like a weapon.
She takes it, smells it. What does it smell like?
It's like, damn it!
I was going to give you a really cool weapon, but now I'm not.
The big book of smells.
We're gonna
It's 100
we're gonna have to
pages
print out
of
a
different
smell
smells.
chart that you can roll on.
New thing that needs to go on the back of the TM screen.
Let's make a wheel of
Yes.
smells that you
Smell
can.
list.
Yeah.
The smell table.
Come on, fresh cut grass, no, manure!
I mean, they're close.
I'm fresh cut crap.
Oh, yeah.
It smells like sheep.
Like what?
Like sheep?
Like sheep. Like
You were close with the manure thing.
Well, I don't know, Evie. Don't you have a use for this? I could just try and find something more mundane.
I can think of no one I'd rather give this to than you.
How touching.
Sarah, why don't you accompany me to the other ship? Help me find a few things, and we'll look for a weapon while we're over there as well.
Okay. She kind of takes it. I think Sarah she'd be thinking in her head, like, if she were to create a weapon, whether this or find one or something.
A whip, darts,
I don't think it would
a
be.
dagger, all the D4 weapons.
I don't think it would be
At once.
a glaive, right? I think that would feel wrong, almost. But
Watch me whip.
yeah, I mean, she'll go over to the other ship, but maybe holding this alt steel, she might try and focus on it and sort of. I think in her mind she would try and do what she would do with Craggy, right, and just be like, and try and turn it into something.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, would you?
It's getting
Is it good this with this
interesting.
version?
10.
Sorry.
It's not.
It's
Um,
mediocre. I can roll
Mediocre.
inspiration.
Mediocre.
I don't want to use my inspiration.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. No, it's interesting because you feel like it might be able to be forged. Like, it's giving off, like, that kind of aura of, like, this can be forged if you so will it, right? But it will take a forge of immense heat in order to do that.
A star.
The star of Nidavellir.
Yes.
That's a made-up word.
All words are made up.
Okay.
Well, why don't you just keep it on you? Perhaps your time of need will present itself again, since, dying would probably have worked.
Would have been nice to have this, but it's 20 minutes ago.
I'm gonna head over to the other ship and start looking.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with him. But thank you, Evie. I appreciate it. Seems like it wants to be forged, but might need some immense heat in order to make it happen. Whether that heat is literal or now that the danger's past, perhaps.
Sparks
Right.
flying. That kind of heat.
Right. In that case, we should leave it with Vicky.
No, you
Bow,
two.
chicka,
Oh.
bow, wow.
Before I forget, when I was pilfering this, and I'll pull out the map, I might have found some weapons or something in the captain's quarters if you want to go look.
You did find an obsidian sword, if you remember.
There
It's a
was
short
a sword, I remember. Very
I think
clearly.
you grabbed it actually. Just FYI.
Never been much for swords, but something with a haft.
Made of obsidian.
We might be able to fashion that obsidian into something.
Yakowa.
Let's go
How do
look.
you say?
Okay. So who is going over to the ship? Bolt?
Me.
Seredan? Eve staying?
No, Eve will go to the
Okay.
other ship.
Is it more out of just making sure Seredan doesn't? Okay.
I'll stay, keep
Ezra?
watch.
Okay. What about Victor?
You're on cobalt duty.
I will
You started
be
this whole thing. That is your
apologizing
punishment.
profusely to the one that I threw in the bag.
Kes, how do you say, I am so sorry for putting you in a bag?
Yes, I need you to translate something for me. There was a little breakdown in communication earlier. I want to make sure they're not going to kill me in my sleep.
Yes, of course. And he leads you over to the group of kobolds who do shrink away from you a little bit. And as you kind of start explaining to them what happened, we'll skip over to those of you on the ship. Let's get some investigation checks.
I rolled mine before
So you didn't
we
want to
RP'd.
obsidian?
18.
18?
19.
19?
Really bad.
You didn't want the obsidian
You're
sword?
not going to want to know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
-6.
So you're specifically looking for gear in order to retrofit this airship. to
Yeah,
send a
just,
kobold.
I want to see if I can like create a sail system or something that can maybe propel it so that the kobolds, which I'm hoping can run the ship to some degree, since they've spent a good amount of time here,
Yeah.
and basically just be like, take it and go home. Like, so A, we don't have to watch them all the time,
Right.
and B, it takes this ship out of like the
But
pirates.
maybe they can lead us to.
We have a
They
map.
can be guides.
We have the map though for.
We have a map and nobody who's ever been here before.
And you don't really know the orientation or anything.
Right.
Don't worry, we're gonna find the one piece.
You do find some like sail
Canvas
like,
tarps and
it
stuff
makes,
like that.
It makes sense that an airship would have like a backup sail, right, on it, or something that they could at least like propel themselves if their main pilot or their main helm got destroyed. So yeah, you with a bit of time and some help from everybody else, you could probably rig up a sail and teach the kobolds how to maneuver it.
Yep.
You said you got a 19. You find the obsidian short sword, but you don't find any other weapons. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a piece of the railing off and see if I can fashion some sort of like falchion or halberd style with the sword.
With the
Yeah,
obsidian
like
sword.
connect them together. Put some clamps or something on it. See if I can.
A little duct tape,
Whatever works.
rubber band.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of
Lot of glue.
serviceable. As you're doing that, Keskes is finishing up on the
Yes.
the canvas, and he comes down and he goes, "Bolt, you were talking of need of forge, yes?
Yeah.
If Seredan wishes, Keskes be willing, considering what she's been through.
Can Sarah hear this, or I'm not?
You
near?
can be nearby.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's up to you. This is your ship.
Keskes will be brave.
Oh, Kes.
You are a very kind and generous kobold.
Thank you.
Kes, you have a forge on your ship.
Not as such. Do you mind if anyone else knows?
And he just kind of like scurries away, like, I'm gonna go talk to the kobolds.
The energy source that keeps this ship aloft.
Is Hug on a treadmill?
Yeah.
That's why it goes so
a big,
slow.
big hamster wheel.
Tired.
Hug fittest ogre ever.
There's a cupcake hanging like right in front of him. He doesn't realize that he could just grab it, but he's just like, I gotta get to it. What powers this ship is actually a heart. A molten heart from a dragon.
I knew it!
Oh wait, are they back on Greatest Treasure?
I would assume that you guys are
okay.
everybody out for
All
this.
collected together.
I knew it!
Right.
You
The
have been
whole
keeping
time.
this a secret from us.
But
It was
I'm
not.
impressed.
used to be trustworthy.
I mean, I didn't
I
know
would
that
hope-
the ship was being powered by the molten heart of a dragon, but I knew that there were dragons.
I still refuse to believe they exist. They're probably extinct.
Well-
that was the last one, obviously.
But then they
You're actually correct,
Did.
according to what Cascas.
Well, so far
told
as
me.
we know.
Cascas, do you have
I should
eggs?
be more trustworthy because I was able to keep someone else's secret.
That's true. I take it back.
It
You
was
were
not-
extra
It
trustworthy.
was not my secret to tell.
Well, can we see it? Cascas is gone. Can we? Right?
Yeah,
Cascas
yeah,
is over
He's
with the
over there,
kobolds,
yes.
and Victor's like,
He
tell
has.
them I'm so sorry. And he's like, this idiot.
Victor, you did hear the conversation as well from where you were, though. Good hearing.
He has graciously allowed access to it, and we should be able to channel the heat from the heart to be able
For
to
the
forge
old steel.
The old steel, yes, or at least attempt to. I've never done it before, but I'd be willing to try.
Well,
For science.
let's do it. No, not for science. For killing Aventi.
Do or do not. There is no
the
try.
science of killing
Science of
Aventi.
killing.
Forge that ald. Come on, everyone. Forge that ald. Thank you for indulging me.
You're welcome.
Now,
I want to see.
there's not a lot of room down there, so if you would like to see the heart, we should probably go down a little bit at a time, and then
Should we get a tour?
there's sure. I don't.
You can give
Yeah,
him a
I can
tour,
give you a tour.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to keep it a secret from the other little ones?
Might be their mom or dad.
Cascas mentioned that the dragon that he served was the last one that he knew of. The dragon knew of, and was former master named Zolzyrus.
Voiced by Sean Connery,
Zolzyrus.
who also starred.
I am the last one.
I'm the last dragon. I am Cyrus.
Yeah, it's a molten dragon.
I have so many questions.
Make it happen, Internet. Make it happen.
So, okay, I would love to talk with Cascas about this later, but let's see it.
How does
So-
it work if it's just a heart?
Well,
Not
you'll
attached
see.
to a brain or a body.
You'll see. So I take you guys down through there's two levels. The main level is like where all of the cargo is and stuff, and then there's like a sub level in the bottom area, and that's where the heart ends up being. So,
Yep.
and
again,
then if you remember,
It's like
it's like in a
It's like in a containment unit.
containment,
And it is far larger than
and
the
connected with some hoses and
heart you've
cables
ever
and
seen.
stuff. So
But there is like a little access panel, and he does have a little tiny like forge and anvil set up down here.
Yeah.
That kind of the heat feeds
for
directly
repairs
into
and
for-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he needs it.
It's got a nice white hot flame.
So what kind of a weapon are you hoping for? Because you have to decide. Right now. Do it.
a glaive
Say it.
feels wrong.
Throwing stars.
There's a
One single throwing star.
Please.
They always
on
return.
a rope.
And then Sarah kind of has this moment, and she's like, Volt, are you familiar with the double-bladed scimitar?
Yes, I've seen some around.
Legends
Oh,
say there was a dark
well, you are
elf.
well traveled. Makes sense.
When I was growing up in the Summer Court, the honor guard of Queen Vidania used to fight with double-bladed scimitars. I always thought that one day I'd join their ranks. Mother never wanted me practicing with one, but when she wasn't looking, I did have the captain teach me a thing or two, just enough to not hurt myself.
Well, I know they are quite dangerous and difficult to wield. I once saw a Tushan monk attempt a kind of a fanciful routine with one, and he ended up cutting off a couple toes in the process.
Right. I've heard similar
Sure,
stories.
he wasn't a member of the Eight Rings. That doesn't sound like a tradition.
I mean,
I mean, he could have. It would have been a secret. Though.
probably not. You know, we're kind of professionals.
Well, this one was a professional minus 2 toes. So
He must have been like a apprentice or something.
I think it might be time to see if I can't fulfill that dream that I had as a child. If you think you could make one.
I will definitely need your help.
Of course. What do I do?
Yeah, so we can go ahead and start heating all still up and starting to try to shape it.
Now,
So-
I don't know if it will help or anything, but I have 4 basilisk fangs. I was going to use 1 or 2 for a dagger. You're welcome to use them if it gives you cool powers.
I have no idea.
DM.
I'm not. Cory's just like, yes.
All
How
of the
much can
magic,
we
all,
add
all
in?
of the strange items that I've given you guys are coming crashing down on my head.
Oh no! I have a feather from
Cinder
So okay, let's talk about
Phoenix
this.
owl feather.
First of all,
I only have. So Bolt only has a little bit of knowledge from that because we put the. Did we put the feather
ironwood.
in?
It was ironwood.
It's ironwood and the feather in your dagger.
Dagger.
okay, so the forging of this weapon is going to be not difficult but intense. Bolt is going to probably be doing the bulk of the work. I know, Victor, you have a little smithing, but I want everybody to kind of contribute. One thing that might help the alt steel form into a more pure weapon. So
There's a montage. And it zooms in on Bolt's forehead, and there's just it's not sweat, it's just a little bit of oil that drips down.
And so let's go ahead and start off with probably the person that should start off with, Seredan. What would you like to contribute?
My fiery phoenix
Yeah.
owl feather.
Okay, so you kind of
We
laid
got
that
way
in
back
there.
in the day. Yeah.
As
Embarrass, right?
Yep. It kind of hits the forge area, and just like the heat goes from already like molten hot and just kind of goes to that white hot. That means that this thing can melt a lot. Like it kind of looks like it might even be distorting the containment pod or field around the heart itself, but it's not breaking it down. And the alt steel goes in there and it starts kind of like melting. You can actually you've never seen everything that you've heard about alt steel is that it cannot be forged normally, but this alt steel is starting to glow and starting to melt. And during this time, you start feeling a little bit of a connection between your mind and this magical force. So you need to concentrate on what you would like your weapon to be while everybody else contributes.
Keep it in your mind, because if you don't, it's going to
It's a
turn
Stay
into
Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
A bunch of tiny ones.
Yep. Eve, what would you like to throw in the forge here?
Eve.
Darian?
Sorry.
He'll just respawn later.
Still, I don't like that idea. Thank you, though. Eve will untie from her hair. She has a feather tied in there, and she'll say, "This was given to me as a gift from the trio, from Goldie, the bird who led us through the Emerald Wild. And I think the trio would love to give you their blessing."
She'll take it and have a hard time keeping her mind on the weapon. Put it in.
No.
That's just a normal Sarai thing, though.
Thank you, Evie.
As the feather goes in, there's a flash of light and a beautiful bird call that kind of flares up from within the forge.
I have some shards of the.
I have this little satchel that has this cut or whatever the extra pieces of the ironwood tree leaves, and I'll take out a little handful. And
These were from the sacred tree from the third ring, and I believe that you will be honorable with this blade.
Thank you, Vicky.
And if you do,
I will do my best.
It will strike true.
As you drop the leaves in, you hear them kind of clang into the bottom. They start to melt in there. There could be a nice, cool Damascus leaf pattern on the blades if you'd like. And you guys feel like a breeze kind of pick up around you signifying the tree's acceptance of being part of this new blade. Ezra.
I will take a blue thread out of the ascot.
The one from your mother?
Yeah, and say, the withered bow clan blesses this weapon. Drop it into the forge.
And as it kind of falls in and you see it kind of like quickly burn up, there's that kind of tingle in the back of your mind, like you know exactly which way to kind of weave yourself now, as fate is guiding you just a little bit more. Bolt, do you have anything outside of forging it that you'd like to contribute?
Yes, actually. I will take the flower crown.
From the first adventure?
Yep.
Callisto and all?
No.
Not so easy when it's your pet on the line, is it?
Yeah, but mine doesn't respawn, so...
Should we test it out?
No, we should not.
Science.
Unless we get a cleric in the group.
Bird skeleton, like...
I'm working on it. I have access to cleric spells. Next best thing.
Yes.
You can always talk with that
We'll
after.
go ahead and... may you retain some of your innocence. I'll put that in there.
Just some, not all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as that starts burning and crackling in the forge, you guys hear children laughing, the festival bells that you heard way back when at Six Hills, and you get that feeling of being back there for just a moment when everything was a lot more innocent and you weren't fighting for the fate of the world all the time. And then the ingot is ready, and Bolt, you pull it out with the tongs, and you bring the blacksmith hammer down, because there's like a set of them off to the side. Obviously, like Keskas has a smattering of different items, and you bring it down, and as it strikes once, it stretches out and elongates into the full haft of the double-bladed scimitar on its own.
Oh.
Into this tingling of magic, and then you strike it again, and one of the blades springs forth, and you strike it again, and the other blade springs forth. And by the time the third strike is done, it is cooled, supernaturally cooled, and completed. So, you want to describe what it looks like? If you have any other features.
So, I would say that the haft is like a dark gray, but there's a leaf pattern sort of etched into it, like almost like on vines, you know what I mean? Kind of wrapped around the haft.
Yeah.
It's about, what is that? 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long or so. And then on either end, there's a curved blade, but they look like almost like a ruby. You know what I mean? Like it's like slightly opaque.
Okay.
So like a deep red, but but when it catches the light, it almost looks like you can see like yellow orange, kind of like, I don't know, there's something inside, maybe like a fire or something like that. And yeah, just two curved, long blades, probably 2.5, 3 feet long themselves. Yeah. So, can I take it?
We should probably let it cool. Is it?
It's cool.
Nice and cool? Oh, well.
Okay. So yeah, Sari reaches in and she grabs it and she kind of hefts it. She's like looking at it. She's like looking at each of the blades, She's like, it's beautiful. And she kind of just does like a little sort of basic, I don't know.
Knock over a bunch of supplies.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Cut off some toes. No, just a little like quick maneuver, and she's like, going to have to be a little more careful with my butt action these days, but can't be too much different, right? Just hit him with the pointy end and then hit him with the other pointy
Let's
end.
find out. Pull out my katana and swing at you.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, I'll parry.
Yeah.
have a
We
little
won't worry about any
sparring.
rolls. Yeah, like you guys can go ahead and start sparring a little bit.
give you a couple good hits. Make
Yeah.
sure it's not, soft edged or anything.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it
all
definitely
still
is like very hardened. Like it feels like it's taking your katana feels like it wears down a little bit against the magic, so you'll have to sharpen it.
Now it's a -1 katana.
So, and you can feel that kind of heat underneath because this is forged. with the heart of a dragon. This is a stirring dragon wrath weapon from new Fizzbands.
Dragon wrath weapon.
Yep. So
Stirring. So now we need to go simmer it in the pot of a dragon.
So a stirring dragon's wrath
The pot of
weapon
Avendi's guts.
has the slumbering property and the stirring property. So whenever you roll a 20 on an attack roll with this weapon, each creature of your choice within 5 feet of the target takes 5 damage of a type dealt by the dragon's breath weapon, which in this case is fire.
Okay.
It is a +1 weapon, and on a hit, it deals an extra 1d6 fire damage. And these properties can be increased if you
Steep it
in dragon
The
wrath.
crits are going to be insane with smite and an extra
But
D6.
it does require attunement.
Okay.
Oh man,
Okay.
that's amazing.
Sarah,
cool.
Sarah just like looks at everybody and says, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. And Bolt for forging this. I feel like I don't know if I'm worthy of such a fine weapon, but it's definitely a worthy replacement of even the Choir of the Cracks. And I'm honored.
Well, use it to protect your friends, loved ones. And I would also add in the greatest treasure, seeing as how it literally gave a part of its essence for it.
This is the greatest
right.
treasure, Junior.
This is my greatest treasure. But
Now you can bond with Keskus. I know what it's like.
So there is a little bit of remnant magic left in the forge in the form of an epic dice for everybody. So,
All right.
Yep, just take that. Have a little bit of extra enjoyment
okay,
there.
I gotta add
If
this
it
to
helps us kill Aventhi, then
my
it will be
inventory here.
well worth the effort.
Agreed.
And you will be worthy of it.
Thank
But if you don't
Izzy.
kill Aventhi, then I don't know.
then you can
What was
have
the
it.
weapon called again?
It is a dragon wrath weapon, a stirring dragon wrath weapon.
Okay,
Well,
let's see
so
if it's. Let's see
Seems
if
I
D&D
have the
Beyond.
crappiest weapon here now.
In terms of pure damage, no.
Stirring. Okay. Sorry.
I'm saving up for something.
That obsidian blade. I can cast Identify on it and see if there's anything special about it. I'll ritual it. I will.
It's not actually magical.
Okay.
Sorry. So
That's fine.
yep, there it is. It's an obsidian short sword if you want to take it. So
I'll stay with me long sword.
a long sword.
Long John sword.
Okay. So you guys get back on top deck.
That's his name. We named him.
Yeah. Long John sword.
Sorry. Cory.
Yes. It's
Um,
a terrible name.
I need to.
I mean, you
I
always
need
say
to
it
try
like a
and find
pirate,
this.
so...
Yes.
Yeah.
You said it was a stirring
It's a stirring dragon's wrath weapon.
you
I
have
don't know how they
Fizzbands
have
turned on?
them.
dragon's wrath weapon slumbering, dragon's wrath weapon stirring.
There you go.
Okay. And this says longsword, so I'll have to try to. I'll figure it
There
out.
should be like because it's any weapon
Yeah.
technically, so you have to like.
If you
Okay,
add,
so
just add
dragon-
it, and then you can change the name.
Well, or
Unless
I
it's-
can,
Well, but
I
you
can
need
probably
the
find a
property
double-bladed
types
scimitar.
and-
So I'll find it. You guys, well, let's continue.
What is the damage on a double-bladed scimitar?
It's 2d4 with the main end, and then as a bonus action, you can use the other end for a 1d4.
okay.
So
So a little bit higher quality than say like just a D8 weapon like a one. So
Right.
One hand.
yes, it's 0.5 better than a d8 on the one hand, on average, and then the d4 obviously is the d4.
Yeah.
But the nice
a
thing,
genius.
the nice thing about it is similar to when you take the polearm master feat and you can use the butt action, like your offhand attack, your bonus action attack. Since you're using the same weapon, you can use your, in my case, dexterity modifier for both the to hit and the to damage without needing like a feat or anything like that.
And I guess let's go ahead and touch on that a little bit. You changed your class and
Right.
and it required you to change your abilities, your stats around a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, for anybody like wondering how that works story wise, I mean, Seredan just got recreated.
Yeah.
Like she gets recreated in
Well,
a
and
different image, I suppose.
the way I think about it is that I've lost my warlock levels. I was already sort of starting down this paladin path.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the paladin just kind of grew You know what I mean? To supplant that void created by the loss of the warlock
The
levels.
warlock levels were shoving the paladin away.
Yeah.
And then when it left, the
there you
void.
But then also took two levels thus far of Sorcerer, Divine Soul Sorcerer, which I view as sort of, I guess, whatever, being imbued by the will of the crags.
Yeah. There's definitely, like, when you deal with god magic, there's always an imprint left over.
Yeah.
Right? That's what a divine soul sorcerer can be. Somebody touched by the gods, or somebody descended from the gods. So, and then for kind of an off thing from everyone wondering why I didn't just make him play the character with the same stats, it's because it's more fun just to play whatever character you want. So
Agreed.
you might notice Sarah looks a little more lithe than she used to, a little more dexterous.
A little more LV.
But definitely go check out the character sheet in the description below.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys get topside.
Along with our Discord. Join it.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot that beginning.
You guys get topside, and you see the kobolds have already, they've got the sails rigged up, and they're already starting to kind of move away. You see the corpses of the whalers have been kind of strapped to the sides of the ship as kind of
warning sign.
Yep.
Dang.
Did we just create
Vlad?
Maybe. They look like they actually they took some of the whale meat that was in the cargo hold for themselves as they went on their way. And Cascas comes up and he goes, "All is well? Yes, yes."
Kes, all is wonderful. Thank you so much for trusting us with your secret. We promise not to share it with anyone, and thank you for allowing the power of that heart to create this piece of art as far as I'm concerned. Can you believe this? Look at this.
It is beautiful, yes. And may I?
Of course.
And he takes it and he touches it, and he kind of just starts shaking a little bit, and you see his goggles fog up, and he's like, it's like I can feel him again. Here, take great care of it.
I will.
And then he picks his
That
goggles
was
up
really
and
sweet.
he wipes his eyes
my
really quickly,
gosh.
and he says, Kes is happy to share with friends, best friends, and I hope that you don't die again, Seredan."
That makes two of us, thank you.
At least not until after we get back and collect our winnings.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all
Yes.
Eve really cares about is
No.
the money. I'm kidding.
Do these blades
I mean, a little bit.
have a name?
Second.
Oh yeah, does it have a name?
Have they been christened?
I'll have to think about
Dragonheart, obviously.
Hmm.
That might be a little too on
That's
the nose.
I mean, let's see. You have a million names. My thing is named
Long
Long
John.
Long Sword.
Long drawn sword.
Long John Sword.
I'll name it after its first kill.
Ooh. Better be someone cool.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to give them the same name as the person that I kill. I'm saying after
What's your
that
name,
happens,
Ash? What's
I
your
will
name?
it.
That's what I was saying.
It's Bob. Okay, you're not the one.
Stacy.
Philip.
Red shirt number 3.
Remember the captain's name last time was
Filbert.
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 Captain
I've got
Filbert.
Filbert here.
It shall be called Brandakiller.
Ooh.
Branderbane.
I love
Not
it.
bad, actually. No, I'll think about it. Okay, so +1, and then on a hit, it deals an extra 1d6 damage of the type.
Fire.
And then you said, because also slumbering,
Yes.
each creature of your choice within 5 feet takes 5 fire damage of my choice. That's nice. But that's only when I roll a 20. It's not when you crit, it's when you roll a 20.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
not the same
that
thing.
is important.
Okay.
So. Oh yeah, this is whenever
You
you
could
roll a
crit on a
20
19.
on
I
a.
was like, how is it not?
Well,
Wait,
I could,
Yeah.
if somebody's paralyzed, I
Yeah.
crit if you hit
automatically.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
So.
Now, is it a 20 natural
No.
20 on the dice, or is it like...
It-
you have
yeah,
a-
yeah,
you have a
yeah,
plus
natural
8?
20. When you
it is
roll
natural
a 20.
Yeah. But it, like he said, you crit on a paralyzed thing no matter what. It's not
Right.
gonna, yeah.
so there's a difference.
And there's like feats for crit on 19 and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys Keskas kind of leads you over to a specific area. As he does, actually, Hug grabs Victor and leans forward and says, "So what's down there?"
I'll look over at Cascas.
He's not paying attention.
I'll look back at Hug.
It's something very amazing.
I'm just kidding. I know what it is. And he scratches. He like rubs your head.
Oh,
Kind of a little payback from
Testing
you,
you.
I was going
pretending that he knocked you off the edge there. Hug thinks it's funny, and Cory is Hug, so Cory. That's an epic dice for me.
Every NPC is just a small aspect of your personality, right?
Yep. So Cascas leads you over to kind of this small little table that he set up, and the map is rolled out onto it. And you can see that it's got a few different items that are kind of been laid in the corners. One of them is kind of this golden filigree thing, and he goes, "Oh, Bolt, by the way, found that on the captain's corpse."
All right. What is it?
Don't know, and he hands it to you. And you look at it, and it's kind of, it looks like it's one of those like wheel ciphers.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like one side, like it has like this kind of like depression on either side, and one side has been pushed in, and in it you just or you see that they've been arranged in the word Mayday.
Oh crap!
Son of a bee sting.
Da Vinci Code.
The alarms.
We should probably head out, even if we don't have a destination. We should probably get
South.
away from there. Which
Eve
is
will say, Darian, where should we go?
And Darian kind of gives you like a little bunny lick, but that's all he does.
You worthless piece.
Perhaps the kobolds might know.
Hey, there
They're gone.
Kobolds did know. They
Oh.
gave information, which is why I bring you over to map. Yes, yes.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so?
Well, sorry. Started with wrong thing.
So what? Go ahead and.
So
what's
he
up?
he kind of unrolls it and he points at what item did Kes use to represent the greatest treasure?
Oh, this is like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Better not be the boot.
He used a thimble. It's definitely a thimble.
Okay.
He put it down. He goes, "Well, we here, and we want to go here." And he points to this kind of area on the far northwestern side of the Broken Expanse. You can see there's a bunch of like other islands. Some of them are marked with that kind of that same gear symbol that you guys saw on the ship itself. One in particular, like the largest island, has kind of been marked as like, you know, more fanciful and everything like that. He goes, that Gearcracker clan home base, and this area, and he points to this kind of miasma it almost looks like one of those like "Here There Be Dragon" signs, because like it's just kind of this tumultuous like black area, and he says, "Is no man's zone, great storm there." They said the temple might be in there.
Into the storm.
Great.
I would prefer to avoid the Gearcracker clan for a little while until we can
Never
Maybe-
want your gears cracked.
maybe recoup some of our.
I kind of want to get revenge, but
We
That's
probably-
just me.
We probably should get away from the other ship as quickly as possible.
we
They
should
already
rig
headed out.
it.
They already headed out. Remember?
Then it's their problem now.
Are they-
Can I?
Do you think that this thing can be tracked?
Wait, hold on.
I am
hold on.
actually. I was just going to ask if I can do identify on it
Okay.
and see if I can figure out how it works. If it runs on magic.
Say never
what's-
mind.
Yeah.
Write that back.
How
Submitting.
trustworthy are these
Just kidding.
kobolds?
JK.
They're probably
JK,
about
JK.
they're probably about 200 feet away at this point. Like,
How does that make them trustworthy?
How trustworthy are they?
I mean, you seem to trust him enough to free him. I don't know.
They
And
might
like,
lose
This is an
heads.
internal dialogue.
Yeah, this is Victor deciding.
yeah,
if
this is the
they're
angel
loose
and
ends or
devil on your shoulder. But there's 8 of them, all
Captain
telling you
Rocks.
different creeds. and you
Each
can-
dagger is telling you it's different.
Can we animate them, little angel and devil, and then you can record yourself talking, but we'll like pitch it up or down depending on what it is.
Are you spending the 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'm doing it as a ritual.
And then Cascas is going to be like, I move?
Yes, head towards the storm. I think.
Yes.
I'm tying myself to the boat,
Okay.
to the ship.
At the front, and
crane.
you're going, I'm sailing!
No, I'm tying myself because I don't want to fly away in a storm. I'm scared.
So Cascas takes off. Everybody can go ahead and take
Just
a
imagining it.
short rest. at
Please say
least.
it's at the very front of the boat, and you're like, because you got this
I'm
unicorn.
the ship's
Yeah, the
lady.
Yes.
Figurehead.
Figured, I think.
Thank you. That's what Ezra is. Can't wait for it.
Bottle
So
of champagne in the face.
after 10
You're
minutes,
the tip of the spear.
after 10 minutes, you identify it, and it's a kind of like a cipher of message. Basically, it's like a one-use item that sends a sending spell, like a very limited sending spell.
One use, can't be reused.
Yeah, it can't be reused. Yeah, it's sort of one of these like, oh crap, like something's happening, we need to send a quick message kind of thing. Limited to about 12 characters. Like, it's very limited in its use. And it looks like this one was probably just set to Mayday automatically, and then just depressed as soon as like the fight started.
Can I sense if it's like got any residual energy or anything in it that would be maybe trackable or anything like that?
So it sends out like a location when it is sent as well with the message,
But it's not currently.
but it's not like continually updating that information.
Homing beacon.
Yeah.
Geocache. Well, I want to play with it later, see if I can like maybe recreate it or something. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm going to put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Which means it's now in an extra planar area. So if they were to track it,
Yeah, if there was any dragging on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So it's actually going to take you guys a day to get through towards the storm. The Broken Expanse is a rather large area. So everybody can go ahead and take a long rest.
Okay.
If Sari wants to practice, Victor will offer sparring with his knives so he can be at a safe distance, and then the knives are just basically emulating somebody who would be fighting
Yeah.
in that style.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah is very interested in sparring with whoever will practice with her.
for sure. So we know from your vision that we're going to find a temple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever describe what it looked like to us at all? I guess whatever you could remember.
Well, I would have told you. Well, at least you, for sure, because you were there when I had that.
Yeah, so I would say that you got the sense of like quickly flying through the temple. I would say that you couldn't really describe what everything looked like.
Okay.
You know it'll be recognizable, but that part of the dream is a little hazy.
We'll know it when we see it.
Yeah.
So I actually, Bolt would have pulled out like some sort of a notebook or almost like a journal, but less about like dear diary, more just write down like interesting things that they've discovered or that they found, and actually rip whatever you kind of like a sketch artist style. Like I remembered what you had said, and so we at least have like some sort of like semi-visual thing, so we can kind of like keep an eye out, so we can pass that around and see.
Yeah, it's basically an image of like an archway, a specific archway with kind of this. I said it looked like a Torrey gate, but I'm changing that. I'm retconning the look a little bit here. It's got like clouds on it and like air, almost like patterns that look like air currents, kind of going up each of the pillars and around the top. So you guys enter into the storm early the next morning, and it is a doozy of a storm. Like it pretty much sends the greatest treasure rocking off to the side. So let's just go ahead and get like some strength saving throws from everybody. I know Ezra said that he was tying himself to the ship, so he's going to get advantage on this.
No.
Strength or athletics?
Strength saving throw.
19. Oh wait,
You're in my aura.
if we're within 10 feet of Torrey, it's 23.
Yep. As long as
It's
everybody just
plus
stays down.
4.
More.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna need that. So 16 for me.
11.
11. Okay.
17.
17, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everyone else is good. Bolt, you kind of have to like, it kind of rocks you around a little bit more. You're still kind of unsteady on your legs, so you're gonna go ahead and just take like we'll just say 7 bludgeoning damage as you're kind of rocked about the ship a little bit.
7 force damage, you said?
Bludgeoning. My good sir.
Careful there, Bolt.
Yeah, I
Bolt.
fall over and like
Bolt?
smack my head against a pile of crates.
Yeah. There's a nice dent in your head now.
I'm sure we can get that out later.
She'll stick my head in the forge for a little bit.
But it's not too bad. Like, the greatest treasure seems like a rickety ship, but it pulls through and it makes it through pretty well. And
She's got it where it counts. Good.
Yep. And as you make the final push through the storm, the winds clear to reveal a splendid yet horrifying sight all in one. A large orb of white marble hangs in the center of a ring of buildings and landscaping. But it is marred. A deep crack races along its surface, and from this break spills familiar aberrant flesh that spreads across the surface in red, vine-like tendrils.
These things again.
These tendrils extend and then float away from the orb, ending in pulsing red sacks of flesh that unnaturally bob as if some horrible children's balloon. As you watch, one of those sacks is torn open, and half a dozen of the small spore-like eggs you've been scraping off the hole burst forth, immediately being picked up on the strong winds that surround the temple and are swiftly flung into the storm to be tossed out into the broken expanse.
This is where they're coming from. So the orb, like, where is it?
Yeah, so you've got this large kind of orb with, like, that's kind of marble. That looks
How big
like
are
it
we
might
talking?
be. Oh, we're talking like Sistine Chapel sized orb.
That's a big old orb.
Yep. And then around it is sort of this this crumbling sort of ground island that's in like a donut shaped ring, and then there are kind of buildings scattered about it.
And the temple is on...
The temple is presumably either on this ring or it is that orb. Not exactly what you were expecting.
Definitely an abandoned, like there's not...
Yeah.
We don't see other life forms.
Other than the aberrant creatures that you can kind of see floating in the sky. You can
And they
kinda
didn't
see-
come out of the orb. They came out of like an egg sac thing.
Yeah, well, so there's a crack in the orb and there was flesh spilling out of it, and then they were kind of hanging off of that.
Got a chance of meatballs.
Flew away. So, yeah, a little bit. And Cascas is still kind of fighting with these Gale Thorpe winds, and he kind of gets down low into this sort of soft air pocket, and says, "I cannot get over any of the buildings. I'll have to drop you off on the edge of the island."
That's all right.
As close as you can get us.
Of course. And he kind of wheels around, and soon enough he kind of pulls up to what looks like basically the entrance. There's this kind of winding path that leads on an upward incline, and it just kind of comes down in this cobblestone path and then just kind of breaks away into nothing. It just looks like whatever was there fell away, and he just kind of parks up against it and bumps into the side as he does, and he says, "I will wait here as long as I can. If any of those creatures come a-calling, I will be leaving, but I will be back as soon as I can. I promise."
We can communicate still. Does the ring work out here in the broken expanse?
Oh, yes, should. No reason to think not. And he pulls it off, and he takes a scrap of paper, and he goes, yes. And pulls it up, and he mutters something in Draconic, and then your ring starts smelling like oil.
That's his draconic essence.
By Calvin Klein.
Yep.
Draconic essence.
Smells like gear oil.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are able to jump off the greatest treasure back on this semi-solid ground. Like you're on a floating island, but it feels like you're on ground again. So anybody who has had any sort of shaky leg on the airship feels kind of better.
Okay.
Yep, Bolt
Shake it
definitely
egg.
feels more relieved to get off the ship.
So I'm assuming forward.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about a walking order. I just want to see what you guys, who is first, who is second, but kind of put it out here for me so that I can kind of see with the figures.
I'm happy to scout ahead if we need to.
I'll go in the back.
Who's got good perception?
Not me.
I have good passive perception.
You should probably be.
I got +3.
I have +6. I'll go.
So you should be first.
Ezra, what do you
I
have?
will be.
for
I'll be right.
IC?
I'll be right behind you to
I
help
have a
protect
12
if needed.
passive perception.
I'll just go and I'll just be in the middle.
And then Eve, you and.
Is it big
Darren?
enough that we could go like 2x2, or is it more of a single?
I mean, it's a wide path, so
Okay.
you guys, if you guys want to double up, you can.
Yeah, we're not. I
Yeah.
mean, we don't have to be like marching straight, but
yeah, somewhat of a bump. Group up.
If that's the order, that's the order.
Let's do it.
Okay, heading on up. So this path of winding broken cobblestones and overgrown grass leads up to a up to an archway, and this is an archway that is familiar.
This is it.
Pristine, despite the general ruin of the temple grounds otherwise. White marble is carved with clouds and patterns of swirls that evolve and evoke the currents of air that are kind of moving across it. Symmetrical, save for the single carved bird head with an open beak jutting from the left pillar. Hanging above the archway is a set of wooden chimes, the multifaceted slabs of wood showing off letters that spell out, "Let the wind be your guide." Laying in the center of the archway is a long dead body of a medium humanoid.
Is this the person I saw in my vision?
It is not the person you saw in your vision. The person you saw was much larger.
Is it like a skeleton, or does it still have like flesh on it?
It's a skeleton. It has what looks like rusted plate armor on it.
Does the bird's eyes look like lasers are going to shoot out of it?
No, it looks like a small kind of just like the small beak.
Looks very lasery.
I don't. I'm just.
They start to open slowly.
I'm gonna
I'm thinking
kind of
of
like run my fingers.
Never-ending
Is it
story.
like something I
Yes.
can press in, or like a lever, or is it just like ornamental?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
A 17.
So you see that you see two things as you're kind of investigating a little bit. First of all, on the inside of the archway, you actually see that there are 4 kind of depressions, 2 on either side, that have specific symbols that seem similar but different.
Okay.
And then inspecting the bird shows the mouth is hollow, and the hollow curves upwards and out of sight until you see an exit hole that kind of pops out the top of the left pillar, and it looks like it's facing directly at these wind chimes. But there are no.
Is it windy right now? Or are the chimes chiming?
No, so they're kind of like swaying back and forth a little bit. You can hear that breeze kind of like whistling against the hollow bird head as well.
So there's a macaroni noodle hole that goes up
Let
and
the
hits the
wind
wind
be your
chimes.
guide.
Yep. Let the wind be your
And
guide.
always let the wind be your
Perhaps we
guide.
should shout into it.
If someone has a spell that can do like wind stuff, we could do that. But otherwise, I think we just
So
blow into the.
Darian's quite
bird.
good at breaking wind if we need. I've given him many.
Depends
sugar bombs.
on the sugar bombs.
Sari could
Don't
try
do that.
like casting. Prestidigitation will do like a small
Puff.
Yeah, like a puff of wind. So she'll try doing that, like casting like a puff of wind through.
like into the
blowing
hole.
into
Uh-huh.
a 2-liter.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, as you kind of push a gust of air in, you can hear it start whistling, and you can hear it picking up as if there's more wind in there than there should be, and eventually it comes out that top hole, and it starts causing that kind of like beautiful noise that the wind chimes make when heavy wind goes across them, but it also starts shifting the letters around on these wind chimes, and it starts spelling out more words. And I will grab that here to send over because I'll let you read that.
Beautiful
Discord.
girls.
Yep.
I used prestidigitation to great effect, other than just cosmetic. Let it be known.
You've used it for cosmetic.
I've also
Purposes
used it
as
for
well.
cosmetic purposes to splatter mud on it.
Negative cosmetics.
That was also to great effect.
Yeah.
Come on.
She'll prestidigitate herself to have fabulous makeup.
I will unprestidigitate
Ooh.
you with my spell. Yes, I do.
Prestidigitation.
Yes, I do. Arcane orchard lore.
This is like
We're just
make a
gonna
blue,
be fighting.
make a pink, make a
Prestidigitation
blue,
war.
make a pink.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Wow.
Okay,
don't
I just
use it a
put
lot,
that in
but-
the RP chat. So whoever would like to read
RP
that.
chat.
Welcome to the Temple of the Eternal Gale. Those wishing to enter the main temple must prove themselves to the 4 winds and bring their sigils to the gate to open the way.
Alright, Eve. This is your temple. What the hell are the 4 winds? And how do we prove ourselves?
Can I do what?
Religion check.
Religion check?
Yeah, you sure can.
Oh, great.
Come on. You can do it this time.
What day? That's 14.
So the wind kind of picks up a little bit and blows your hair, and it kind of moves your head in a certain direction, and you can see off in the distance, you're kind of on the southwestern corner of this ring. You can see off to the south and off to the west, there are these larger buildings that look like maybe like sub-temples. And you get a feeling that those are locations that you want to visit.
It's like little Minecraft villagers.
Do you see these? That does sound like. I think they always sound like Squidward, and they look like him too.
Yeah.
SpongeBob. The floor creaks. Okay. I see these smaller temples over here. I have a feeling that they have something to do with this, proving ourselves. Can we walk to them?
Yeah, you can go through the gate and walk to them.
Like a compass, perhaps? It's direct. It's on
Through
the
what
like,
gate?
edges.
This gate, like the gate with the person in the middle.
Let's
We can
check
walk
the
through
body.
this thing.
Yeah, it's that big.
No.
I'm
There's
gonna,
a dead person right
I'm gonna
there.
kneel in front and check.
Check the body.
Yes.
Okay.
How did it die? If you can find
Go
out.
ahead and give me a medicine check to see if you can
Medicine.
figure
Only
out
the
how-
penitent man may
19.
pass.
19.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
the
I'm
corpse
scared.
is long dead, though something has kept it from decaying normally, or kept it to decaying normally, rather than being devoured by aberrants. You can see that there are plenty of like stab wounds from where it was attacked by these creatures, but like kind of like a broken bone here or there that kind of evokes that to mind. But they haven't been able to collect like these aberrant creatures like to do, where they like to just grab whatever material they can and consume it for their home thing. The plate armor that it's wearing is rusted and worn out. However, there are 2 items that are still maintaining their luster. One is a book, the markings on the cover showing the title as Tempered Wisdom by Talic Vo. And it's written over a tastefully designed symbol of the trio.
Talon.
Talic, Talak, last name Vo, V-O.
Okay.
The other is a weapon that is still clutched in the corpse's hand. An unmarred wooden haft attached to an iron flail, though where one might expect spikes, there are instead holes in the shape of a snake's mouth perforating its surface.
So each one of the holes is a snake's mouth?
Yep.
Oh.
It's sort of like there's a hole and then they etched a snake around it.
Alright.
May I?
Does that
Pick
mean
up the book?
anything to you? This looks very fangish.
This all looks very trio-y.
So there's not a lot of time to read all of the book, but there is a foreword that you can read.
Speed read. Oh, forward.
That,
Someone
kind of gives you a
highlighted
little bit
some
more information.
specific passages. You can just
Someone, it was like their scriptures, and
And I
they like
just sent that to you.
highlighted and wrote some little things.
So I just sent that to you as a document. So you can read that out loud to the class.
Alright.
What color is the armor? Like, is there any indication? I know it's rusted, but is there any indication of previous colors to it?
It was just standard plate mail. Like it wasn't colored
So,
or
like,
anything. It was just kind of a
nothing
standard
like-
steel.
Like
yeah.
No
bright
shaders.
silver.
By my lady's
No
graces. Oh, sorry.
That's in the DLC.
By my lady's graces, I am Talic Vo, Paladin and champion of the trio. Prior to this, I was Talic Vo, member of the Diamond Wing.
Is she reading this out loud?
Yes. Though I never fit in with my people. Makes sense. They're kind of weird.
Says the masochist.
I was too busy learning about everything else the world had to offer to have the will to learn only the creed and knife dancing in general. Had I not been visited by my ladies and gone off on my own, I may have ended up disgraced and without a people due to my apathy toward them. Of all the rings, the Death Ward can be the most stubborn, and as I have seen from experience, the most strict to those who do not follow its tenets. I still treasure my family, and my sister will always be my closest confidant, but it is better for us all that I had left. Enclosed within this book are the wisdoms of the world I have learned during my travels, thanks to my lady's guidance. It is my hope that this will stand as both a written text for their will and to stand as an assurance to any who feel like they do not belong. Being different, not fitting in, is not as uncommon as one might think, and you certainly are not alone. The trio always has a place for those seeking common ground. Just like together are the trio a true force for good, so are we that come together under their sigil. Through their teachings we rise together. It's beautiful.
Sounds like propaganda.
Do you know of this Talic Vow and the Diamond Wing, Victor? It is not.
Hang on, Victor's broken a little bit.
Sorry.
Which means that goes to Dallin.
Sorry. It was just too perfect. You're like, it's so beautiful.
It's
like
beautiful.
propaganda.
Ever heard of Mein Kampf?
Yeah, there's like
Kyle!
there's flyers everywhere saying the same thing.
So, from Victor's perspective, can I roll a history check to see if he's
Sure.
if he recognizes talent? That is a 16 plus history 17.
17. You've never heard of a Vo family before.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't have too many dealings with the Diamond Ring. By the time that you were born, their leader was already the apex of the
Right.
8 rings.
Right.
So they kind of stuck around. What is the place called?
Scald Seas.
Called
Scald
Seas,
Seas, yeah.
Yep.
Scald Seas.
They
Thank
kind
you.
of stick
Good
around
job.
Scald Seas. That's another epic.
It's
Yeah.
only because I helped him come
Dang.
up with the names.
Yeah, that was good. So they stuck around that area, and you didn't frequent that area very much.
Yeah.
In fact, your first dealing with them was probably during your trial, and you were a little preoccupied to really get to know them that well.
Do I recognize...
Does it say anything here? Like what is his sister's name or anything?
No. I mean, perhaps later in the book, but
It's a he, right?
and I look at the corpse.
I
Yes.
mean,
All right.
I don't...
What is that weapon he was holding? It looks rather
beautiful.
frightening. And beautiful.
Flail
I'm gonna-
that can
I'm
inflict
gonna
no
see.
damage
I'm gonna pick it up.
without
Okay.
spikes.
It is magical. And as you move the weapon away from the hand, the rest of the body just crumbles to dust, including the armor, just kind of blows away in the wind.
I
Perhaps
remember
it
what that
has-
felt like. I
Well, I'm never letting this go now.
Cursed weapon.
You guys go set it down.
It seems blessed. By
or
the tree.
cursed.
Or cursed.
Yeah, can I identify?
But probably not.
Ritual.
Probably
Rituals.
cursed.
The trio.
Yeah, you guys kind of look around, and you can hear in the distance, you can hear that kind of chittering that is the aberrant creatures, but none of it is immediately in your vicinity. So you can just kind of. But if anybody would like to spend that 10 minutes exploring, there are a few buildings right here at the entrance, and as you kind of the view you got from the sky is there's about 3 or 4 buildings that kind of intersperse themselves throughout. So it's a bunch of different compound of these buildings.
Got it.
So it's kind of copy paste because some god was lazy or something like that. Who knows? But does anybody want to actually explore while this is going on?
I mean,
or?
got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'd be mildly interested in making, understanding the weapon and the person, and just kind of going between.
Okay.
To, I
Eve
guess,
and
better
Victor
understand.
maybe are sitting with the book.
It seems like it tracks. I mean, the way he talks about the apex is kind of an a-hole, but he's good. It makes sense. But I would probably he's scary. You don't want to figure out. He looks at you. Feels like you're
I
standing
hate
there.
when people look at me.
He looked at you. It's so scary.
I wouldn't mind a look about.
So why you have the blindfold so you can't see anyone looking at you.
Precisely.
We've got exploration group with Seredan and Ezra. We've got heads in the cloud book group with Victor and Eve, and then we've got Bolt identifying the magic item.
And then there's Bolt. It's
And
pretty
then
much
there's
like
Bolt. Yeah. So, as far as the book
Not a real
goes,
person.
there's a lot more to it than just there. There's a lot of tenets in it about the way that this particular paladin interpreted the trio's messages. Right? It's predator, because being a predator is part of the clause tenets, but he interprets that as you are the strongest, so you must protect the weakest. There's a lot of that kind of speech and everything, and it interspersed throughout these individual teachings of what the trio means to him and what he's learned about them on his travels are his travels. He talks about meeting with an Axtoli group, and he talks about meeting the tribes in the Pouncewind Prairies and everything. And towards the end of the book, he talks about a recurring dream that he has to go to the Broken Expanse and find this temple that the trio wants him to, because there's something inside that he needs to grab in order to fulfill their greatest desire to him. And unfortunately, the book ends pages early before.
In the castle of...
yeah, before you can
Just
find
that,
out
like,
anything
like-
specific.
Is there any like date details in there? Like, can I tell how old he was or how long ago this was?
You can kind of take some context clues and get about it was about 20 years ago or so was this gentleman's attempt, was this Vo's attempt.
Okay.
And he does talk about the 8 rings.
Oh,
but,
do we know his sister's name? Does he say that anywhere in there?
Yes, but I don't know his sister's name.
Oh,
I didn't come up with it yet.
was it Blagatha?
Random name generator, go.
Agatha.
Blagatha Gristy.
Her name is Gristy Vo.
Gristy Vo.
Yep,
Cristivo.
Gristy Vo.
I like it.
And whenever he mentions the 8 rings, it's always with a detached feeling. And as Eve reads them out, like the passages, like whenever you've been kind of like, if there's a passage about the 8 rings, I want to hear about it. And it's kind of the same way that you treat a Massifist community, where you're like, I understand their tenets, I don't know if I can follow them. You know, and it's one of those things where you get a lot of the same sense of like, this is you, right? You feel the same like lost feelings, like you don't know what to do at certain parts. He doesn't know if he's on the right path, and he's hoping that the ladies speak to him again. And so there's definitely kind of this theme that you're getting between the two of you, that you're connected a little bit more than just because of your goddesses.
Okay,
and maybe
cool.
you are connected because of your goddesses. Let's get some stealth checks from the 2 scouters.
Oh, I don't have disadvantage because I got my happy little
Happy.
21.
Bright Star Family armor.
Nice. 21?
Yes.
Clink, clink, clink.
Didn't help much though, did it? That's 11.
11? So
If I roll
Ezra's
a one,
plenty
I'd
quiet.
slap.
Like, you're kind of slipping through the ground.
Naturally.
Seredan is kind of like still a little unsure of her legs. So she's making
These
a
new
little
legs.
A little more elven.
They're
than
new.
It's
normal.
like when Ariel suddenly has legs
It's
again.
2 blades
Yeah.
of craggy.
Ugh.
It's the thing from
That's so creepy.
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
Ew.
So there are 3 buildings in this main area, these kind of 3 copy-paste buildings. You see that one of them appears to be identified by kind of this running water symbol on the front. You assume it's a bathhouse of some sort. You can see one that is kind of this old storage shed, almost, where there might be some tools or they keep some grain, that sort of thing. And then on the left is kind of this single-level room, or not room, building that's about 40 feet long by 30 feet wide. And around it are these windswept sand gardens that look like whatever sort of patterns have been etched into them have been since swept away by the wind. So where would you like to
Are the my brain's not working very well tonight. Were these buildings
It is new.
And then, yeah, that's also and I still have an 8 intelligence, so not a genius after all.
I mean, Sarah does know.
Oh. Were these through the arch, or
Yes.
they are on the other side of the?
They are through
So
the
we
arch.
went through the
Yeah.
arch.
Now, technically, there is
And didn't die.
no like wall
Did we
on either side of the arch.
Laid
There's
them
no
out.
dividing. Yeah, you could walk around it,
Okay.
but if anybody does step through the arch, nothing bad happens.
Okay.
There's not any sort of
Red
like
herring.
yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't
Or
break
It was a
any
good one.
sizes.
It was a
It's
good
just
one.
not active yet.
Okay.
We've been conditioned by
Yeah, I roll to see
movies.
if I can sit on the chair.
You sit
on the chair.
Yeah. So, what building would you like to examine?
Sarah would go in the bathhouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say
She'd
I'm
be
gonna
like,
follow Sarah to the
"Ooh,
bathhouse.
I wonder if there's still warm water available. She goes in.
You are pretty fresh, though.
It's true, I haven't been this clean in, well, since I was born, probably.
You open up the door, and this wave of, like, just... It's just disgusting.
Oh,
it smells terrible.
Don't want to bathe in
you
that.
see, like, everything is
Ascot
murky. It's got moss and all that kind of growing over it. It is very much like this bathhouse has not been touched in a long time.
This would require hours of prestidigitation from the both of us. We don't have time.
I'll just do a little corner.
Do you have prestidigitation? When did you get prestidigitation?
It's part of the Arcane Archer lore.
You two are just going to make everything so pretty now.
So, just closing that door back up?
No.
Nope. Don't
Now
do
you
anything.
know the secret of why my hair was always blowing.
There
It's
we
just
go.
constantly every 6 seconds. Prestidigitizing myself.
So that didn't take
That's
as
the
long
term,
as I would have expected.
prestidigitizing.
Is there another building that you would like to examine?
Yeah, let's check out the sand.
The sand swept.
Sand
Yeah.
swept.
Windswept
Sounds
sands.
cool.
Yeah.
I want to draw something.
Okay. So you poke your heads in, and you see, kind of floating about, are these ghostly figures. They look like they're monks dressed in these kind of orange robes, or maybe blue, like it's kind of depending on which monk you're looking at. And they're kind of just floating through the air of an otherwise completely empty storage area. It's just the marble stone. It doesn't, or not storage area, but bunkhouse. Like, it looks like everything else has been cleared away, and you can see the telltale signs of scratches along the walls from the aberrant spindly legs that you've experienced up close and personal before. The specters don't seem to notice you at this time.
Roll for possession.
Probably friendly.
How, I mean, what, well, I don't know. Should we talk to
Is one of them bald with an arrow on its face?
No.
I don't know. I think we should.
Sarah's just like, excuse me.
Like,
So 5 sets of eyes turn towards you, and they all just look like they have this fury on their face.
Okay.
And they start rushing towards you. We're
Okay.
going to go ahead and roll initiative here.
the
surprise
monk
round.
was. I thought they were going to be nice. They're monks.
Yeah.
These are mad monks.
They are mad.
Mad monks.
So we're going to go ahead and get everything set up, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Are they 1,000 XP worth?
There's 5.
We are so close.
All right, so let's go ahead and reveal the battle map for tonight, or at least the first battle map. We'll have to remember this because, like I said, it's kind of a copy-paste layout for the temple because why not keep it the same? And let's get some initiatives, starting with Eve.
Doobity-doo. Oops. Doobity-doo. 18.
I'm in the middle of that identify thing.
Yeah, I'd say you're about 8 minutes into it, so you might have to just cancel it if you feel, or you can just keep going.
But I'm almost done. I know you guys are dying. I'm almost done.
Ezra.
Just 20 rounds.
Finish identifying it so we know it's sentient and that one of us is going to get Hazaron.
Victor.
Math 18.
18. Bolt.
17.
And Seredan.
24.
So starting off, actually, all of you first. Look at that. Seredan gets to go first.
She's just like, you don't have to look so angry. And she runs in and takes a swing at
Number 1.
number 1.
Number 1.
She's like, we were just going to ask some questions.
It just lets out a horrifying shriek as it reaches its hands.
Are
out
these
the way.
all, and obviously you don't have to tell me this, but do they all look about the same, or does this one actually look different?
They all look about the same.
Okay.
And they all look like monks. Obviously, they're all individual monks.
Okay.
They're not copy and paste monks.
Just
the
the
god
ribs.
wasn't that lazy. There's at least 5 different looks for these monks, and
Okay.
it just kind of rotates through them.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna make some attacks.
Okay.
See what happens here. First attack is an 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit.
Okay.
This is
4,
exciting.
I know.
I'm so Tornado Blade.
12 damage.
12. And then how much of that is fire?
2.
Did you roll your toe damage?
No. And second attack is a 15.
15 will hit.
Yay! For 13. 18. 6 of which is fire damage. And then a bonus action attack.
That actually takes that one out.
Nice. Okay.
Solid.
Then she'll be like, well, that wasn't so bad. And she'll move up to 3 to here and do my bonus action attack. I rolled an 18. Can I keep it? Well, 16.
Which one is that one against? Right?
2.
Number 2.
Number 2, that hits.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is just
Wait.
a 1d4.
Is that number 2?
Plus a
I'm
D6.
blind.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So that's 12, 6 of which is fire damage.
Okay.
And
No,
that's all, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so Seredan, you kind of leap forward, whirling your blade above your head. Two of the, as you whirl it around, it just kind of slices through one of the specters and sends it off and just kind of dissipates it. And then you rush forward and slice into the other one. You see that they are, like, the magic of your blade is cutting through their incorporealness, but they are resisting to that fire damage a little bit. But that second one just kind of lets out a shriek as you slice into it.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, enjoy the afterlife. I'm sure it's much better.
Or maybe Oblivion, who knows?
Or Oblivion.
Ezra, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to have Expern fly in front of 2.
Okay, and that's a free action basically because it is your familiar. Yeah.
Right.
It's not a bonus action like we've been playing.
Right. So that is going to be
And this was in front of 2.
yeah. That's going to be 26 to hit. Should have done sharpshooter.
26 does hit.
Okay. For 12 damage.
12. And your bow is magic.
Yeah, my arrows are magical at like level 6 or something.
Yeah, you take it out. You dissipate it right through the heart.
Okay. And then I'll step into the room. I'll take a shot at number 4, I think is that center one. Crit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I didn't declare sharpshooter, but that's okay.
So max damage plus
yeah.
you roll.
So that's going to be 16. Another 8, so 24
Which one was that one again?
Number 4.
damage.
4.
Yeah, that takes that one out.
Alright. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So
Wow.
Eve, you hear commotion coming from the bunkhouse.
Something tells me Sari had something to do with this. Eve will hop on Darian's back.
She just came back.
You didn't hear me say that.
What could possibly happen? She just came back to life.
I mean, she's died before, so she knows how bad it is. And then Darian will run. Let's see. How do I have to go through here?
You don't have to go through the archway.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Jump over it.
is this the entrance?
The entrance would be probably like the 2 on the side there.
This?
On
This?
Yeah, on this side right here. So you won't come through there.
I'll have him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with a dash you can get there. You won't be able to attack this turn, but
Okay.
But yeah, you come in, you see these specters, and you immediately rush towards one of them that is trying to move towards everyone else menacingly.
Hey Evie, we found some angry monks.
I noticed.
You're trying to take Seredan back to hell, I'm assuming that's what she was.
I tried to be nice. I said hello.
Which level of hell were you in?
Which ring?
Avernus.
The level that has a choir. So probably like the first. It's the welcome room.
I don't know, having to hear a choir for all eternity sounds like a
It's just
higher
hellfire
level
over
than
and over
one.
again.
Yeah.
Would you like to attack?
Hellfire and damnation. That's the song?
Yep.
Please don't include that in this video.
Nope. Too late. It's not gonna happen. Too late.
Okay,
Hellfire and Damnation, the musical.
the musical. Okay, we will attack with my longsword.
Long sword.
Long drawn sword.
Well, that didn't hit. That was 8 to hit.
Long
8
drawn
total?
Silver sword.
The second attack is a 19 plus 6.
Yes, that one.
Okay. So that is 7, 8,
This is against
9,
which one?
10.
2, number 2. Oh, sorry,
10
5.
damage.
10 damage. Okay.
Yes, please.
And your weapon is not magical, so that just kind of it just goes right through the incorporealness. But
I said I have the worst weapon of all of them.
Victor.
Yes.
Oh, don't you get another attack?
That was 2.
That was
Oh,
the
that's
first
right, you
one
missed.
Yeah.
I will.
Bolt, you're gonna be okay for a minute.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll go check out what's
There's
going
nothing
on.
attacking me, so.
I'll click my heels together, and I think that's a bonus action.
Yeah.
And I will run.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
Yeah.
45, 50, 55, 60.
I
It
can
doubles my
go.
movement, so that's
So
gonna be
60.
60.
Yep.
So if I get in the room, then I'll see. You didn't learn your lessons, or is this something else?
They looked sad. We wanted to be friends.
Well, if you want, I can leave you to it. I mean, which one did you
No.
get their name before they died?
No, I think they're trying to kill us, or at least they will be soon.
Oh, okay. I'll throw
As soon as
some-
their turn comes up in the initiative.
I'll throw a Cinderhearth.
That was
This
like 12
conversation.
seconds.
Long conversation.
I'm talking as he's running over.
Yeah.
So that's.
Hey, Victor, by the way.
22 to hit.
22 will hit.
And then we're gonna roll this. We got someone. It's gonna be this one. And
2?
Yeah.
5.
So
5.
5. So that way it hits. So
With
it's
sneak.
11 damage plus I think sneak. I can get if it's throwed. Yep.
Yeah.
As
As
long
long
as
as
they've
there's
got it
an
or have
extra.
advantage. So that's another 12 damage. So 23 total, with a magical, and I will expend the 1d10 burn, 2d10 burn.
Okay.
So 5 damage.
Go back to the ring of hell you came from.
Another 12 damage. So
Yeah,
that's-
that you burn right through this thing, send it in a wave of fire.
Wasn't so bad.
Bolt. Why is your health? Oh, that's right, the bludgeoning damage from the storm.
Mm-hmm. Why is your health low?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I did that to
Right,
you.
I did that.
That
What
was
would you
like
like to
a
do?
cruel reminder.
Yes.
Why is your health low again? Oh, that's
yes.
right.
That's okay. I pulled it up the other day to look at something, and Cory was sitting next to me, and he goes, "You were only at 15? Holy crap!" From the last one.
So evil.
Double death.
Are we
Um,
bad?
I'm gonna look over. Do I see anything else from
Yeah.
anywhere besides the ghosts?
Mm-mm.
So can I make a perception check?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. Are you breaking concentration on the ritual at this point?
Would the perception check break the ritual?
I would have to give you disadvantage on the perception check. If you
Then
don't wanna break
I
the
will
ritual.
try to with disadvantage.
Try it again. Try.
You cannot see anything.
Nope.
That might indicate.
I'm gonna yell
reinforcements or
out.
anything like that.
Is everything all right? Do you need my help
Everything's fine. Sarah died.
again?
I'm not dead, I'm right here.
Oh, good.
So some angry monks that seem...
I'm going to continue this ritual. Let me know if you need me.
Okay, continuing the ritual.
That
Perfect.
was sarcasm.
So that means that the only specter alive gets a turn. I think it's the target of its ire is probably going to be Ezra. It's going to move for Ezra. Do you? Oh, that's right. You don't have Polar Master anymore. Ah, freedom.
You are now free to move about the cabin.
That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Let's see
So you're gonna take
how owie it is.
10 necrotic damage.
Ow.
And then I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as these claws try to rake through your soul.
Oh no.
Saving throw.
Saving throw if you're within 10.
Plus 4, so that's
Don't-
He's
It's a con, you said?
Yes.
probably not.
22?
22?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Within 10? Yeah, because you're technically here.
Using
Okay.
shark blades, you're gonna
Well,
lose a hand.
you're fine regardless.
Yep, you are
You're
fine.
just
Well, that
like
was with
so
the
tiny.
4. I can take it off with the
Yeah.
last, but I think I okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You feel that kind of like ran through you, but you managed to hold on to whatever it was trying to pull away from you.
That made me feel really weird.
And then back up at the top of the round with Seredan.
Okay. Let's take some swings. Like, could you tell us a little about this place? 20.
Or
That'll
at least
hit.
your name.
Dirty 20. Why are you attacking us and what's going on here? 5, 7, 12. 2 of its fire damage.
Okay.
It
It does not respond.
Okay. Second attack.
Screeches.
Well, never mind. I'm going to save that. Second attack was
Kid in the
bad.
back seat meme.
11.
11 will miss.
Okay. And then
Or the Iron Man.
the non-butt action, butt action. I don't know, come up with a name. That's a 19 plus 8, 27.
That'll hit.
The strike.
The
action?
bottom action.
For
Pommel
7,
punch.
12 damage.
12. How much of it is fire?
3.
3 of it is fire. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
Yep, you take that one out.
That was unpleasant.
I mean,
I thought
right.
they were going to be nice.
You didn't seem so angry when we were just spying on them.
I wonder what they were trying to protect. Something.
Is everything good?
Yes, we're fine. Just sent some souls into, well, either oblivion or the afterlife.
Victor
But at least they're not undead anymore.
They're dead now.
Victor died, says Victor.
Victor died. Shh.
Yeah, let's search the room.
Yeah.
Give me some investigation checks.
Go! Critical failure.
Natural 20.
15.
20.
Still about to
Eve
puke from the soul ripping.
kind of you quickly scoured the area. There is nothing left in this bunkhouse. It appears that everything has been stripped down and devoured by these aberrant creatures to be taken as material.
It's naked.
Like their
Naked.
souls.
Sorry. Should we go back to the bathhouse?
I don't want to know what that was about.
Okay.
We got a storage room.
Bolt, you finish up the ritual in that time.
Yeah.
And you learn that this is a magic weapon that has been blessed by the trio. It is a devotee's censure.
This is the thing I've been seeing.
What? That's crazy.
And after I was being such a little whiny crybaby at the
You
start.
mentioned that, and I'm like, it's gonna seem like I'm just giving you it because I feel bad now.
It's like,
but
wah, I have the worst weapon ever.
So for those of you who don't know, the devotee's censure is a magic flail. I don't know if it has a +1 bonus on
I
it.
think it does. It's
think-
from
yeah.
Tasha's.
But it does an extra 1d6 or 1d8 in holy damage when you hit with it, and then you can use your action to trigger it once per day, and it sends like incense out of these holes and heals everybody for 1d4 life within like 30 feet. And it says all creatures, not all friendly creatures. Keep that in mind. But it lasts for a minute, so it's about 10d8 or 10d4 worth of healing once per day.
So just right after we fight, just
Potentially.
Don't mind if I doodly.
or if the bad guys are
So
far
I'll
away.
go up and meet you guys.
As you're heading to the bathhouse,
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming.
Or
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to go back to the bathhouse.
Eve.
There's some
It appears
smelly-
that this weapon is actually blessed by the trio. I think it would come in handy for you.
I think it would.
But I also think that it needs a little something extra. And I'm going to use one of my infusions to give it a radiant weapon.
Okay. It is not a +1, by the way.
Okay.
It is just.
It is now.
Does the radiant weapon increase to
Yeah.
+1?
Boom.
So excited.
So radiant weapon is
Very
grants a
happy.
+1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. While holding it, you may take a bonus action to activate or deactivate shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet.
Very nice.
As a reaction immediately after being hit by an attack, you can expend 1 charge and cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of the attacker's next turn.
Are you replacing your
I am.
radiant
Yep.
fist with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Taking it off my...
Okay. So make
Gauntlet.
sure you get the -1 on your attack.
Mhm.
How many charges does it have?
Has 4 charges and regains 1d4 at dawn. So it's until the end of the attacker's next turn, and they have to succeed a con save of 15. Unless that changes with your against your spell save DC, so
Yeah.
yours. So mine's 15, yours is whatever. So before I hand it over, you see some of those like rusty red magic kind of swirl around the ball end of it, and kind of flow into the holes and stuff, and then it like pulses with light and then dims back down, and then I hand it off to you. And I tell you, and I describe a little bit like you can now activate this too, and so you can go ahead and test it. It's a bonus action to turn the light on and off.
You blind Ezra.
Oh no.
So start swinging it, and then as it like on, off.
Ooh, is it like a disco ball? Guys, time for a party!
You have to do the Xena yell to get it to turn on.
Sounds really cool, and I'm pretty jealous. But I mean, it's just a fancy flashlight, and I'm gonna walk away.
I think he's jealous of your new weapon.
I'm jealous of it. Thank you. And Eve will offer a little prayer up to the trio. Prayer of thanksgiving.
And you get a feeling. You don't even have to roll a religion check this time. You get a feeling.
Good, because
of,
I usually fail.
Yeah, you get this feeling of just like, we're glad you finally have this.
I'm so excited.
This is a lesson to everybody out there. Tell your DM what you want to get as magic items. It makes it easier for us to actually hand out magic items.
Here's another lesson. Ask Colby what he would recommend you get for a magic item.
Don't tell him that. He
would
wouldn't
have
have given
known
it to
that.
you. Yeah, exactly. You gotta act like it's your idea.
Completely my idea.
Are you proficient with flails?
All
you're a
martial
paladin.
weapons.
Yeah.
Weapons are all martial.
Perfect. Okay. So you guys check the bathhouse. Do we want to investigate there?
I'm not
You
going
know-
back
Yes.
there. It is
Hey,
way
listen,
too
listen,
stinky for this.
The last
beautiful-
time you went in, you came out even better than before. You should just go in the water. It'll be fine.
Why don't you go in
For
first?
science.
Probably all still in the bottom. Walk in covered in leeches.
Yeah, Sari will check it out. She'll be like, I'm gonna give that another go. Perhaps it wasn't as bad as I remember.
Okay, give me an investigate check.
And a con save. I'm just kidding.
4.
That will take an hour to attune to for all the other properties, by the way.
Okay.
4. You don't see anything kind of around the area. Are you going to dip your hands in the water at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't really
Then
see
you
what's
cannot
in there.
discern
You guys-
anything that might be of value in here.
You're much too much of CCs, and I'll take. I'm gonna take Shadow Song, and I'm gonna throw him right down into the depths.
Okay. It pierces through the water. You hear it kind of ring out, and water carries sound really well, so you get a feel of the entire pool. There is one item in there that appears to be a small metal thing with a handle on it.
Bolt, there's something metal in there. You should go get it.
You're all wussies.
Yes.
I'll just
Okay.
And I'll
Yeah, so
shout
it's-
something.
I just
kinda
do the
goes
whole walk down the whatever steps and just let it submerge if it's deep enough.
It's not
probably
that deep. Like it's a bath, so
Yeah.
it's probably maybe up to your knees because you're taller
Very
than
tall.
normal.
So I just go Marco. Then you have to tell me if I'm getting closer by Polo.
Polo. I don't even have to close my eyes.
That does not work the way
I
it
know.
works. So you reach in and you pull out kind of this thing that's kind of covered in grime. You give it a quick shake. Maybe somebody could cast prestidigitation on it. And you reveal kind of a
Muck
pristine,
goes off, muck goes on.
silver-handled mirror. Yeah. It looks like there is a tiny enchantment on it. but just a little bit of magic coming off of it, not anything amazing.
Here's
Well, if you want to hang out for another 10 minutes, I'll identify it.
You're still practicing with a weapon.
Let's see if we can find some more ghosts.
You're just
let's go to the
in the
storage
storage.
shed.
the gif of the dog that's got the
tetherball.
Yeah.
The
Guys,
storage,
look at
you
this.
open up the doors. Again, it looks like it's been cleared out. Whatever was in here before, there might be like one old thing of grain that is sitting in the corner, but
And then a mouse comes up and goes,
yeah, gives you a little
flips us
mouse
off
finger.
as well.
Pulls a knife out on you and then runs away.
The mice coming from the pulling the knife out from behind the fridge.
Right. Well, not much else to see. Evie, did you say the temples over there in the distance are something we should explore?
I think, yes. I think we had to prove ourselves, and that's where we need to start.
Would you like to take some time getting yourself used to your new shiny? Congratulations, by the way. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's a little frightening. The snakes scare me, but otherwise.
Eve probably looks so stupid with it right now. She's like, "Ah." That's how I would look with it.
Like the first time someone plays with
match,
match.
like you don't
Yeah,
know where
like,
you got
how
this
do
from.
you... Guys! Shoot. He's
Like,
like ducking.
hey guys, what's going on? And like swing,
Yeah.
hits the wall.
Well, I want to, but can we?
A postcard.
How are these weird little creatures falling off of the marble?
So as far as you can see, like those ones are all like floating away in the sky as soon
Okay.
as they're breaking free. It's about like one every hour. One of those balloons kind of pops every hour. So you guys can determine that as you spend an hour working on
I'll
it.
say
Okay.
I could use a little more practice myself. Let's spar.
Okay.
So you guys spend an hour each attuning to your weapons, sparring with each other. During that time, you guys can take a short rest. Anybody who wants to use some hit dice can.
What is the mirror?
Oh, you want to identify it? It's just a mirror that keeps itself like pristine and will never crack. So, it doesn't keep itself pristine because obviously you had to wipe the grime off of it. But the mirror surface of it will never crack. It's just enchanted to be permanent.
Now, Ezra, I kind of felt like in there you had a little bit of contempt for it. Do you need something to talk about? I mean, I'm here for you to listen if...
No, I was just mostly jealous, but I'm over it.
You're a good man. Good talk.
Tap on the back and walk away.
I spend the hour
Glad we got that off our chest.
Cleaning yourself.
the algae off.
Two people with prestidigitation, you spend an hour cleaning yourself.
Well, according to them, I'm not a person.
Yeah,
So.
Good point. Good point.
Well, it's yet to be told if Sarah's a person.
All right, so after about an hour, which direction would you like to go? Would you like to go west or would you like to go towards the
South
south?
by southeast. Oh my god.
West. West it is.
Heading for the west temple.
West wing.
There is one more set of these same buildings between here and there, if you would like to stop and investigate, or you can continue on your way.
Do they have windows?
No.
I mean, I think we know what we're going to find. Do we want the XP and kill some of these?
Maybe there's another fancy mirror.
I was actually going to ask, is there any kind of inscriptions or anything on it?
No.
No symbols?
Nope.
Sari will open the
So
bathhouse.
it's not like one of the sigils that we might be looking for.
Sari will open the bathhouse in hopes that she'll find clean water this time.
There is no clean water in this bathhouse.
Is it the same as...
It's pretty much the same.
Vicky, could you do your little dagger trick into the water?
Sorry, I'm still cleaning out my dagger.
There's no way to treat
Yes, I
the
can.
blade.
I'll throw it in.
There is nothing in here.
Nope, nothing.
Wonder if there's
A frog came up.
I'm gonna open the door to
It
the
like sticks into the surface.
little sand thing and
That
see
is
if there's ghosts on the inside or not.
There doesn't appear to be anything in this building. As you kind of like pull the door closed and you turn, you see something glimmer in the sand though. Shiny.
I will go look at that.
You pull up, kind of push the sand away that's been swept over this thing, and it looks like it's a little silver necklace with a small scroll case. It looks like probably just for a scrap of parchment.
Is it like a piece of parchment in there?
There is, if you open it up.
Yeah, I'll open it up.
It says, Midix is a windbag.
That's hilarious. Then I'll roll it up and stick it back in.
Who's Minix?
I don't know. I wonder if this is cursed. Does it seem magical?
No.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the room? If we do investigate, see if we can find anything else in the sand.
Nope. Again, like it looks like everything's been picked
I
clean.
want to go over to the storage thing
Necklace.
then. Nope.
Open it up. Let's see.
One grain of.
There is one thing in there, and it's one of those rakes that you would put through the sand garden.
It's animated and it beats you to
What is
death.
that called? Why can I not remember?
Sand rake.
A rake.
Last time we
when you
encountered a
do
broom in a
the-
closet.
Yeah,
it's
the meditation-
called, Zen Garden.
Yeah, it's like a Zen garden rake. Yeah.
But there's no sand left to rake it.
There is.
Very
like,
good.
it's just the patterns
Just
have been
went
swept away,
Oh, yeah.
so. Yeah.
Sari will take it for sure and be like, ooh. And she'll try and draw a picture. But she's a really bad
Ooh,
artist.
Give
what
me a
kind of picture
performance
does she
check.
draw? I'm intrigued.
She tries to draw Eve, but it just looks deformed.
He's like,
It's just Darien, but we're all like, oh, that's a nice
Elephant
well,
got
it's
there.
a
Horse.
7.
7? It's not pretty. Like,
She tries to draw, what did she try to draw? She tries to draw, like, her memory of what Malik the Melodious looked like, but it's all
it comes
very
out like a caricature.
fuzzy in her memory. So she's
You almost feel like you hear a chuckle
nose is
coming
too
from
big.
within inside. Almost as if somebody is tickled pink at the prospect. I'm giving you an epic time.
Thanks.
But for just kind of zenning out a little bit while everybody else stands around and watches you.
Yeah.
Fail. And continuing on your way, you approach the Western Temple. And these ones seem to be like half domes with sort of a spire on top that almost looks like a lightning rod. And there is a single set of double doors at the entrance.
Shall we see if it's trapped?
I can check for traps.
It's just your dex plus your proficiency on a
Yeah.
d20 roll.
Or you just basically take your investigation, whatever.
Investigations.
So Dex, it's gonna be a 19 plus my proficiency. No, that's a save.
Your proficiency bonus is 3.
14. So that's gonna be 17.
17. There don't appear to be any traps on the door.
Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry, my brain, like I said, is not working. I was thinking using thieves' tools to disarm or unlock, but yeah, no, just perception check. Sorry.
You're good.
I need a nap.
Okay. And it is unlocked.
I'll open it.
You open it up.
Seems open.
It is a dome ceiling, and overhead you can see this roiling storm kind of inside the building.
Whoa.
And these big arcs of lightning are streaking down and hitting this large orb in the center that just kind of flares up. And on either side of the orb are hands. 2 holding this way, 2 holding this way, and these constructs just holding it in place. And both the constructs turn to face you, and then they just go back to doing what they're doing.
It's just holding.
Yeah, they're just holding this lightning orb.
Can you talk to them?
Friends of yours?
Anyone can talk to them.
wow, that was.
Hello, constructs.
First, you're like bleep bleep.
Here to prove
Like robot.
ourselves
Meet Mark.
to the storm or something.
They sit there for a moment and then nod at you, and they pull their hands away. And as they do, the lightning itself kind of like starts arcing into their arms, and you can see that like chunks of them kind of fall away to reveal the lightning like veins and bones beneath as they both get charged up by it, and then they turn towards you, smash their fists together, and bow.
Oh yeah, dueling time.
And we'll roll initiative again and get everything set up.
Smash.
Medulla oblongata.
All right, so we've got a couple golems. We've got you guys here in the small temple. There is an orb in the center that will act as well.
Oh, okay.
We will see what happens there.
The
First of all,
environment.
Beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Bolt, what's your initiative?
Let's find out. 17.
Eve.
18.
Ezra.
12.
Seredan.
25.
Ooh, nice numbers.
I got a 20.
Solid.
And Victor.
8.
8. So first up is Seredan.
Okay.
Actually, sorry. First up is the orb.
The orb.
The orb of Oswald. 6. There's 6 of you in the room because Eve is still outside right now.
Oh, good.
Bolt, make me a dexterity saving throw as an arc of lightning streaks out to strike at you.
Do I get +4 since I'm range? So that would be 18.
18. So that's a success. So you're going to take 10 lightning damage after the halving.
Or not.
Or not?
Yeah, absorb elements.
Okay.
Nice.
So I have that. Die damage. And now I get a d6. My stack.
All right, and then can you go ahead and roll me for your chest as well?
Oh, yes.
Because that is a first level spell.
I'm good.
So yeah, this streak of lightning comes out. You see it coming, and you bring up a shield that kind of absorbs it into yourself, holding that for later. It kind of starts crackling along your fist, much like these golems are crackling with
Tasers.
electric energy. Yep. And then it is Seredan.
Okay.
Cattle prod punch.
Seredan,
Okay.
what would you like to do?
She will run at the construct on the left.
Okay, so number 2.
Yeah, and I'm going to.
Do
as
you
a-
have reach with the double-bladed
No.
scimitar? Okay, just making sure.
As a bonus action, I'm going to use my. I had like 20 minutes to prepare for this.
Channel Divinity.
My channel divinity, thank you. The Vengeance Paladin one that gives me bonus. Vow of Enmity. Woo!
New characters.
And she's just gonna cry out.
2 points to Gryffindor.
For Malik, the Melodious, and take swing. So this gives me, for 1 minute, advantage on all attacks against this creature.
Okay, against this target.
Yes,
This is your oath.
correct. And wow, 2, 16. So that is a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Okay. For 14 damage. And then just take a second attack. Oh, so and that is going to be 27 to hit
27 will hit.
for 12 damage.
Well, damn.
And then I use my bonus action for the Vow of Enmity, so that's my turn.
Okay. Yep, you just come in and you just grab or do a couple swift strikes with your blades. The magic goes cleanly through and kind of starts cutting up chunks of this golem, despite there being lightning underneath. It's pretty good damage.
Okay.
Devoja. Sorry, it says your full name on here. Eve.
Okay, we have Darian.
Now, sorry, point of order. We did realize that you cannot have the radiant
infusion.
weapon, the
Correct.
infusion. So that's still on your fist, correct?
Yep.
Because I don't think your fist counts as a magic. Like, it counts as a magic weapon, but it doesn't
For
count as a magic
resistances,
item.
but
Yeah,
not
like,
as
yeah.
like a magic
Anyway,
item. Yeah.
Yeah, so continue. Sorry. Just had to point that out for those people in the comments. Go edit your comment that said that we didn't catch that and be like, oh, never mind, you caught it.
Or instead, why don't you
ground.
just tell us something nice about us? Okay. Sorry, I have Gryffindor on my mind because I was thinking Dallin is very clearly Ravenclaw.
I mean, I'm a Slitherclaw, but yeah.
Slitherclaw.
I'm multi-class.
You can't multi-house. They took that out of the curriculum of chaos.
He
You
found
have
the
to-
one secret tunnel between the two,
Yep.
so he just randomly
That's
goes back
funny
and
because I thought Colby's definitely a Slytherin.
I think so, yeah.
I would say.
You're a Slytherin. You're a Hufflepuff.
And I thought that same thing. I was like,
You're
Preston?
probably a Gryffindor,
Hufflepuff.
I would think. Or a
100%.
Ravenclaw.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
That's what I've always classified myself as.
Yeah, actually,
I'm
I
a
can see
hard
that.
worker, but I don't really like go above and beyond with anything. Like, isn't that what a Hufflepuff is?
No, they just hang out near the kitchens and get high on pot brownies.
Hufflepuff Puff Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hufflepuff.
Guess I need to take a what house are you quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find out for
Well,
sure.
I'll take
Pottermore.com.
one on the next DM's episode.
Okay.
There you go. That's
Let's
good.
do it.
For
Okay.
to talk about
Can we do-
Strixhaven.
yeah, I was gonna say
Ravenclaw.
Strixhaven.
Strixhaven, yeah. Oh, well, in that
Strixhaven.
case, you're definitely Quadrix. Like, but let's get back to the
Be
game.
here now. Okay, so I want Darian to charge. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Charge.
Okay, go down to 2.
Sorry.
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 So do you want me to do that part first? Or?
Let's have you make your attacks, and then Darian can make his.
Well,
He
I'm
moved-
getting out the fancy thing.
Yeah, he moved 20 feet, so he'll get his.
I'm putting on my fancy
The
pants.
flail of snake holes.
Yikes.
It's its official name.
Yep.
Yeah.
The flail of
That's
snake
what.
holes.
Look it up in D&D Beyond.
It's a homebrew item.
New homebrew item coming soon.
The flail of snake holes.
Every time you hit, it ejects snakes out of them.
Yeah. There's a snake in my boob.
Ooh.
But it doesn't like do any extra damage. It just makes snakes.
Yeah.
That's all it
Lots of
does.
snakes.
They're just garter snakes.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
So what was your first attack?
That's
I'm
a
sorry.
15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Sweet. Okay. So, it is 10 bludgeoning,
That's why they call it D&D. Derail
And-
dragons, right?
4 radiant.
Okay.
Next, second attack is a critical.
Nice.
Nice.
A critical 1? Is that what this was?
A critical 20.
Nat 20.
Whatever. Okay.
Woo! So max damage plus your roll.
So that's what, 19 plus
Yep.
2d8.
So,
21, 25.
plus smite.
I ain't gonna throw smite on there.
Yeah.
Why not? What's that? 2d8
So that's
So-
now
Oh, so-
41.
Yep.
41 plus,
Plus.
2d8.
5.
So 46, 49.
49 damage.
49.
Yeah, you shatter a good chunk of this thing off. It's mostly just lightning with a couple pieces. It looks very, very worse for wear.
Is it like it's like that skeleton is made of lightning? Like it's a
Yeah.
lightning
Mm-hmm. With
ghost
just some
with- yeah.
construct pieces around it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Eve is just like,
And then Darian hits as well.
yes.
That was your flail smashing in twice ahead, and then Darian slams into it.
attack. So let's see.
If it's,
Repeat it.
That was
if it's in that one, she hits
blah
me.
blah.
Darian.
Darian.
Darian
Why do you
failed.
He was
suck?
he
There
was
you
so
go.
distracted by the flail.
He's dodging it
Used to-
because she's just swinging so
used to
wildly.
sword.
It's like, oh my gosh, you hit my
It's
horns.
Less
5,
than
10.
That'll hit.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sorry,
on.
Darian, for talking
like
so much
Dr.
smack. So
I
that
heard
is
you was talking smack.
plus an extra 2d6. 5, 9, 14.
Yeah, Darian just goes right through it and just scatters the rest of it. So that one collapses to the ground.
Nice.
There's one Darian down.
Wow, that felt great. Is this what it feels like to be Seredan?
Only taller.
Yeah. Yeah. She is
Um,
only 5 feet tall.
Bolt, it is your turn.
Still cute.
I am going to run up to this one.
Okay.
And give it the old 1-2 punch.
Alrighty.
So I can have my infusion back since we retconned
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Right? 18.
18 will hit.
So I have a d6 of lightning damage as well. That's 8, and one of those is lightning damage.
Okay. You see that. So the fist hits and kind of cracks a little bit of one of these plates, and then the lightning arcs off and it heals that plate a little bit.
Oh. Well, it looks like lightning heals them. So don't
He
use
says,
lightning.
like, monotone.
Yep.
It looks like lightning heals them.
14.
14 will hit.
11.
11 damage. Okay.
That's non-lightning damage.
Okay. And then it has disadvantage, right?
Yep, on anyone but me.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's it.
All right. Then it is that golem's turn, actually. So it is going to make a pair of slam attacks against you, since you are right next to it and it has disadvantage elsewhere. That is an 18.
But it doesn't
to hit.
know it.
Oh, actually, sorry.
Remember that. It doesn't know until...
No, but you're still the closest thing that
Right.
attacked it. 23 to hit.
Yep.
I used my epic die because I remember to use it this time. 13 lightning damage as this kind of
And
electrified
that heals
fist comes
me.
around.
Got it.
All
All constructs are healed
yeah.
by lightning.
And the other one is a 13.
That misses.
Oh, sorry, 15. Math. But that still misses. Ezra, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to have Ixburn try and fly in its face and somehow give me help against this.
Yeah, it just basically like
Flutters.
hits that main part and it tries to like swat it away.
And I'm doing sharpshooter.
Okay.
So that is going to be a... I always get away from the screen. Why do I do
Imagine they sound like silence.
that?
By your command.
No. And then 20 to hit.
20 to hit will hit.
Okay. And that's going to be for 25 damage.
25.
And then I'll shoot it again.
Shoot in one of the fist holes.
That's going to be
In the
a
snake hole.
14.
Stay away from my snake holes.
No, sorry. 13 to hit.
13
says
will hit.
Medusa on the first date.
Oh dear.
For 15 damage. And I'm going to use one of my arcane shots here.
Okay.
And I normally would burst, but I don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm just going to do the... I'm going to do the shadow arrow here. So it's going to take 2d6 psychic damage.
Okay.
So 12.
Wow, max damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
And it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be unable to see anything further than 5 feet away until the start of my next round.
It rolled a natural 20 on
Okay,
the same.
yeah, obviously it succeeds. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect. Victor, it is your turn.
I guess I'll just throw my dagger at it. We've got people. You guys are within range, right?
Yeah. Did you want to move anywhere, Ezra?
Yeah, I'm standing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
ready,
I'll,
so-
I'll back up.
Okay.
If I don't know if it has reach or anything, but I'll back out of the space.
I'll
Yeah,
just use Shadow Song for this.
Just a moment.
Because I was within 10. So if it has reach, it probably has an opportunity.
It does not.
Okay.
16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Shadow Song plus sneak attack. That's 9 and 9 piercing, 16 sneak attack damage.
So 25 total?
Mhm.
Yeah, you go right through kind of the head plate of this thing and knock it off, and the thing crumbles to the ground. Okay.
Nice.
Then we get to the top of the round, and the lightning is going to arc.
Still in
again.
combat?
Oh, no.
Still
My bad.
Okay.
in combat.
Heal him and bring him back.
And depends on what it rolls.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, the lightning arcs out
Shoot.
and slams into the body of the one on the left, or the pieces of the one on the left. You see them starting to rise again as it regains some health.
So I can control. I was gonna attack the board, but I'm And we'll probably kill him first.
So it is Seredan.
Okay. I'm gonna just be like, she kind of looks at the orb, and she's like, "Stay down," and takes a swing at the guy's, the one that's getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
For 11 damage.
Okay.
And then second attack is higher.
Okay.
26. 4.
Not the D4 on the ground.
No. That's 17 damage.
17. Okay, that's enough to take it out.
Okay. And then she'll kind of look at the orb and be like, I wonder. She'll step up and bonus action try and make an attack against it.
Okay, so this thing is not, it's not something that you hit, but as you bring your weapon into it, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Instead, please, as lightning starts arcing off of it.
That is a 12.
12?
Yeah, but dice.
Yeah.
What, are you within feet?
That's
of her?
a 15. Yeah, I'm counting it.
15? 15 is enough. So you will take, instead of... You'll take
300.
11 lightning damage.
Okay.
How many? What's your total?
And so it heals me for 11. It heals all dwelves.
It heals
I
all
don't know if you guys knew
constructs.
this about... Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah.
I didn't
According to
realize...
both.
Now,
Now I am
Sarah is
now a
technically a
construct.
construct.
I haven't pooped yet.
Created out of a.
It's true. You
It's
are.
not too late.
And
Someone
so
know her prune juice.
you pull your weapon away, you're kind of sizzled, your hair is frizzled again.
Of course.
Sizzled and frizzled.
And you can see that the orb has diminished a little bit because of that. It looks like there is only so much energy in here, and you have taken some of that basically into yourself. And you can see inside this kind of swirling stone, something you can't really get a good look at it right now, but there is something in the center. Eve.
Perhaps ranged attacks would be better. She says, it's like smoke curling off of her hair and out of her ears.
Well, I don't have a ranged attack,
You do.
so
Yeah, you do.
a javelin. That's what I meant. I meant to say.
But little
I'm
did you know,
throwing
it'll just
the
arc out the
javelin.
back and stuff.
Yeah, I think after my turn, Sarah would back up.
The 21 to hit.
Yeah, so again, it's not really an attack. It passes right through it, and go ahead and roll me the damage for your javelin, just the basic damage there.
8.
Yeah, so it takes some more of this energy with it, this lightning energy, and just kind of, as the javelin slams into the ground, that arcs off into it and just kind of dissipates when it's grounded.
Sweet.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No, but so something about this is that it disappears and then reappears in my hand.
The javelin? Oh, I didn't know that reappeared in your hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
Immediately after you throw this javelin and it hits a target, I mean, would you
Yeah.
consider that a target? The javelin disappears in a small, bright, a burst of light before reappearing in your open hand.
Very cool. Yeah, so it's right back in your hand.
You're doing the
Okay.
Zeus
So
stance.
technically, you can make another attack with it if you want to roll that
Yes.
damage again.
We do. So that's 7.
7 more. Okay. Perfect. Nice. Bolt.
I'm gonna back away and try a firebolt on it.
Okay. That doesn't have any effect on it. It seems like that just kind of dissipates against the orb itself. So.
Yeah, has to be something solid if it hits it.
Okay. Ezra.
I'm going to shoot it twice.
Okay. Go ahead and just roll your arrow damage. Again, it's just going to be the base damage.
Use
the
one of
weapon.
those Hawkeye trick arrows. The
No, I'm saving
insulator
this.
arrow.
It's rubber arrow.
Yeah.
An 8 for the first one.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry, I rolled the wrong dice. A 14, 13.
13.
And-
It's just the base damage of the weapon. It's not going to include your
Oh, okay.
bonuses. Sorry.
Okay, so then a 6.
6. Okay.
And a 2. That's horrible.
Yeah. Victor. Yeah, you just kind of like, you fire off 2. Again, they hit the orb and they kind of go off in weird directions and they bring these arcs of lightning with them that just kind of, again, shrink this orb down a little bit.
15 to hit.
You don't need to hit it, just roll me the base damage for your
7.
weapon. 7 damage? And that's without any bonuses?
That's just my 1d4 plus 6.
Well,
So it
without
would
the
just be
plus
the
six.
D4.
Oh, no
Yeah.
bonus.
Just a
So just 1.
Oh,
One?
well,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't realize that. You need to take away 6
6
from
Okay.
the damage it caused.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Just
it's
the
not
dice
like you're
Or add
putting
that
you're not putting
6.
your force behind it. It's just like that's how we're calculating what
Just
you're
the
taking
weapon
away.
die.
Okay,
itself.
gotcha.
Which technically that should have taken away from yours too, because you probably.
I didn't do any damage to it. I hit it in melee.
Oh, that's right, and it
took
damaged you.
11
That's right,
damage.
yeah. Okay. All right, so that's Victor, and then top of the round, it's going to Spark again, and we're going to do 1, 2 for Darian,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8 for the corpse. And that's a 3. So it's liking Seredan today. Roll me a dexterity saving throw this time.
Lightning strikes twice in the same spot.
Blood immunity
Sometimes.
this.
That's a 16.
16 is a success. You'll only take half damage. So 9. You'll take 9 damage.
Okay.
Seredan, stop trying to die.
And this thing is very small at this point. It's kind of just like circling around whatever that stone is in the center. There's still a little bit of energy left as Seredan starts her turn.
Okay. Can I... Well, if it doesn't have the thrown property, can I try throwing my double-bladed scimitar at it?
I
It's just-
will.
It turns into an improvised weapon at that
Yeah, I will require a roll on this one just because you're not used to your weapon.
It's
It's with disadvantage because it's improvised.
That's 21.
Yeah, that's good enough. Go ahead and roll your weapon damage for it.
Helps when you have 2 blades on it.
4.
4. Yeah, and it kind of just like goes through, picks up a little bit more of that lightning, and then just kind of like onto the ground behind it.
Okay.
Your brand new magic weapon that you just throw casually.
Just trying to...
It's resistant to cold damage.
Javelin?
Javelin, go ahead and roll the damage on that.
5.
5. There is just a tiny bit of spark left
Okay.
for your next one.
Throw it again. 2.
Yeah, the second one manages to take that last bit of lightning away, and the stone falls to the ground and kind of clatters a little bit, and the chamber goes silent. The storm up above clears, and yeah, there's a tiny little stone on the ground.
Eve will go and pick it up.
I think this.
Smell like
So,
I think this goes to the door, the archway.
what does it smell like? It smells like a stone. It doesn't smell like.
Smells like
It is
Seredan.
Like ionized air.
Stone and a rain or whatever you said.
So it's slightly triangular.
Hmm.
It's got kind of
That's why I
a
had an
little
affinity.
smooth edge on each side, and there is just an etched symbol that Ezra recognizes as one of the 4 symbols that were on the inside of the archway.
Ezra, you're so smart.
I only have a 10 intelligence. I just pay attention.
Okay, and with that, we are going to go ahead and end tonight's episode with you guys having recovered the first of what might be 4.
Quarter of the way.
Yep.
Would seem.
It would seem
Need those 4 heart
There's some
pieces to get a
interesting
full heart.
adventures coming. But until next time, have a wonderful evening and
Christmas? Merry Christmas
Merry
at this episode?
This is
yes, no, this will be
Happy
after.
New Year.
Happy New Year!
This will be Happy New Year.
Find out next
Yep.
time when we're all level 8.
Ooh, could be. All right.
Check out our Discord.
Thanks, guys.
Discord.
See ya.
Bye.